Hello, and welcome to Roller Weiner Monday, the last Weiner you're going to get this year, at least from me, for like this. It's the last Roller Weiner Monday of the year. It's 12:30 p.m. on Monday, and I want to welcome everybody to the live show. Today we have some interesting things going on. Some things, not too much went on this week with the holiday. CRST is going to give out $12.5 million, maybe $2.5 million, maybe not of that. Why to blast Congress, and that's an irony alert for sure. The bridge, Ohio to Kentucky Bridge, 75, yeah, it's open. There were 1,000 transportation-related deaths, and the reasons may surprise you, especially the number 2 reason why people die in the transportation industry is very surprising. I have some Christmas questions and maybe some stock information. How about that? Anyway? So there we go on all that stuff. So let's see what's going on with you this week. What happened? Did everybody get home? What's going on? So we'll find out. And I want to thank Misty for being first today. Oh yes, that's first. Absolutely. Hello there. Well, Bill, it's good to see you again. I hope that you're doing good. Christina, hello there. Trucker Hershey, he had a passport in New Mexico. What's up with that? Hey, Brian, what's happening? Brian Haas, hello there. GP Transco, welcome to you today. I hope all is going well up there. I was up in your neck of the woods on Christmas. Very cold. Daycab Gear Jammer, hello there. I hope you plugged all your trucks in over there. Certainly Adco, hello. It's good to see you. Roger Penske, welcome. Kenneth Snyder's here today. Let's see who else. Oh, Columbia George, who made all the money on Christmas. That's why there was none left for anybody else. Let's see, where am I going here? Oh, Stephen, let's see there. Hello. What's happening? And Christina, you're grumpy. Why are you grumpy today? I don't understand. It's cold, but not terrible. It's 28. It's going to be 52 degrees on Wednesday here in Indiana. Very nice. It was a slightly cold holiday. Rick N., hello there. Daquan Frazier, it's Monday again, finally. Good to see you. Steel Horse, hello there. Big Berry Blueberry Man, I love it. Good afternoon. Like Booberry, that's what that reminds me of. Dave, hello there. The president is here. It's George H.W. Bush. Wieners are rolled up and ready to go. You want a live stream on Christmas, Christina? I couldn't do it this year. It's a little bit chilly to be outside doing that. I did get one in last year because it was warm, 60, but this year too cold. I can't do it inside because of the holiday type music. I'd have to have everybody pipe down in that, so just wasn't able to do it this year. Grafton, hello. Alexandra, good afternoon. Yes. Hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome, I'm your friendly host, not on time. Hey, the show goes out on time according to this, generally, within a couple minutes. Daycab Gear Jammer, maybe we'll be able to get out of our own rolling health food again. Yeah, look, let's get out of that. Home is where you pop the brakes, yes. Oh, because it's cold, it's 28 here today. That's not terrible. I mean, that's not super terrible. And it's going to get much warmer here in a couple of days. Ryan told your daughter that, your 11-year-old daughter, she was cray-cray. Told her that's what the kids say. Yeah, that's what she would say, right. And she said, no, do not ever say that again. No, see, does she not know what the kids say? Ask her to ask the other kids what they say. That's what they say. They all say it. That's what they say on the crazy MTVs and all that stuff. So that's totally what they're saying completely, right? It's very radical to say that, by the way. By the way, I wanted to tell you CRST is about to give out $12.5 million. Isn't that great? They're going to settle a lawsuit that they don't pay while people are in training. They don't pay while you're in orientation. And even your over-the-road training, although you're paid by the mile, that all your time includes time that would otherwise put you underneath minimum wage. Isn't that wonderful? So they're like, oh, well, we're being sued as normal. They sue everybody else, so I'm finally glad that somebody's suing them. They're like, okay, well, we might settle this. Now, $2.5 million of that is for some sleeper berth time, I noted. And they said that, the court actually said that they can challenge that part of it. So they've set $2.5 million aside in case they lose it. I love it. In case we lose, we'll pay a couple of $1,000,000 out, right? That's how much money these companies make. They don't even care. They're just going to set millions of dollars aside. And they don't care. Look, people... in my opinion, stay away from CRST. Don't ever go there. Don't call them. Go around the terminal. Don't even get near there. Kenneth, I think something's wrong with Mark's Wi-Fi. Mark's Wi-Fi is good. Mark pays extra for faster Wi-Fi. I will call Comcast immediately. What do you think of the $600 stimulus check? I think you're going to get it. That's what it looks like. It looks like everybody's going to be getting that. The people that got the $1,200 will get the $600, it looks like. right? I guess Trump's signing it or did sign it, right? Something like that. I think he did sign that. So I guess that money's going to go out. However, you got your last check, $1,200, you're going to get this check. Oh, wow, Bill, who do I drive for? Yes, we haven't heard that for a while because I haven't seen you. So that's interesting. So, well, let's see here. So, who do I drive for? Oh, right. I don't ever put that information out there. So, and that keeps them out of my videos. You know, you just don't want the companies in your videos telling you what to say. Nobody wants that. I certainly don't. So, that keeps them out of there. And also, I don't recruit for them. No recruiting here from my company. And that's how probably we're going to do it in 2021 as well. So, that would be pretty good. But thanks for that. And I don't normally get that question, so that's good. George Costanza may have to learn how to relearn how to shift. I hope everyone watched the strike on Christmas Eve. I taped it on the 23rd. I watched it Christmas Eve. I'll learn how to double clutch. It's floating really easy if you've driven a man. If I've driven a Mini, yeah. I'm surprised that you don't, unless you're only talking about a car. But I mean, I'm surprised you don't float. That's like one of the first things people do. So floating, super easy. Let's float it all around there. Mike tells this is his last time doing this year. Yes, no more wieners this year. My GPS is telling me to go to Canada. Roger Moore, from where you are. That'd be good. Plus another 2,000, Christina. I don't think we're going to get the 2,000. Trump did talk about it. Doesn't look like we're going to be throwing out $2,000. Remember, this isn't other money. This is basically our money already. So this has to come from somewhere. The government doesn't just have money. But $600, I guess everybody's going to get it. It's the way it looks. And $600 a kid also, right? Up to, 17, 18 years old. Not, people wanted this too, which I love. Oh, well, children that are home, they're up to 26, you should get paid. No, they're adults, okay? Number one, they shouldn't be at home. And otherwise, they should get their own check if there's a check coming out. Alexander, we all float down here. Yeah, exactly, right. But floating, the way to go. Soon everybody have an automatic. You won't have to float. Charles Apney, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. I hope you're not in on the CRST thing. By the way, that's class actions. You won't have to do anything when and if the CRST money pays out. If you're part of the class, I'll, of course, do a video about it and show you how to get in on that money. That won't be as much as some of these places I've settled for, but it's something. Still, I always say somebody needs to take this all the way to its end. Congress is voting on the $2,000 today, John. Oh, really? Okay, I thought that... all right, so I'm not up on that. There was so the 600, am I not even right on this? I thought that part, the 600, was part of the keeping the government open, and that got passed. Is that not correct then? Plus, illegals are getting 800. Why do they get 200 more? Okay, it should be for any money, which I don't like people just being handed money, but any money should be only for citizens. Full citizens only. How about that? Yes. 26 is the new 18. Take cab gear jammer. Right. Why are we 26 living at home trying to find ourselves? Dude, I need to find myself. You need to find a place to live. That's what you need to find. Dave, 1,800. So where are we at 1,800? Or is that what you're getting? It's so confusing. George Costanza, I've only driven manuals in cars. Okay, that's why. But I learned to double clutch in truck school. Been using a DT12 the past 2 years. Yeah, float that thing. If you got a manual in the truck, just start floating it. Oh my gosh. It floats so smoothly. Touch on the clearinghouse deadline. Yes, James Null, the clearinghouse, which went up last January, is coming up on its 1 year deadline. So you have to be registered with the clearinghouse in that year. Your company will have to do a search of you in the clearinghouse. They're required to once a year. And for them to search you through the clearinghouse, you have to be signed up through the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, which I don't have their website right here, but there is an FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. You can easily Google that and sign up. It just takes a moment to sign up. And I've signed up on there where I get a notification if anybody searches through for me or anything like that. And you should click that box as well. And it works good. So a company did a search as they're supposed to do, and you get notified right away. And it doesn't cost anything, and you're required to do it. If you go to change jobs also, you'll have to be in the clearinghouse, basically, unless you're getting hired by some dude that's got 2 trucks and doesn't care about any kind of rules. I don't care about the rules. So, but that's pretty much all of us. Go to that and sign up today. So I may have to demonstrate floating on the road test. No, George Costanza, generally they don't want you to float for some reason at the road test, and they were pretty clear about this on road tests. You must double clutch for some reason. You must show them that you can do that. So I don't think you're going to be asked to demonstrate floating on a road test. I don't think so. John, all right, so the 600 did pass, so I am sort of right. It's in the bill to keep the government open, right? Because who knows what would happen if the government closed. Oh, yikes. We wouldn't be able to, I don't know what we wouldn't be able to do. Uncle D's Productions. That sounds, all right. I'm glad Pakistan gets their money for gender programs. It's much needed. Yeah, the gender programs in Pakistan, always great. And again, right, I agree with this, right? Government spending should be for the United States. They can't gripe that people are getting money here. I love that. And then send millions of dollars overseas. There's such hypocrisy, but nobody really seems to care. Well, Bill lived at home till you're 28. Your parents moved and I wanted to stay in Chicago. Oh, so well, they were out of the house. There's kids today that stay at home until 26 and don't even work. That's crazy. 2000 is an amendment, all right? So will that pass? I just don't see it. Boy, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if that gets through the Senate. President George H.W. Bush, 600's approved. House voting on 2000. Senate, illegals get 0. Good. It should be citizens only, not people that are even living here legally. Citizens. That's part of becoming a citizen is you get the benefits of what the government does. Citizen. Philip, did I ever get my day cab back? No, the run that I'm on has a sleeper on it, so I will not be getting that back. And I left that sleeper APU on, so I bet it's warm when I come in there. I love it. So I'll be the sleeper. If I ever have a day cab on this run, it's because there's a problem with the sleeper. Happy Rolling Arena Monday to everyone and all end users, Jim Trucker. I hope all end users had a good holiday and that you're home if you wanted to be home. If you didn't want to be home, I hope they ran you. There's nothing worse than sitting out. I sat in Houston one year. That whatever year that was the year it snowed. I remember that because I woke up Christmas morning and there was like a blanket of snow on the ground. Not a lot, but enough. In Houston, it was on the news and everything. I was at Idle Air. So I didn't know it in the truck. I was all warm in there. Practice using the clutch hard to float an emergency situation. That's true, Roger Moore. You should be able to do both, certainly. But floating is going to be the key. Otherwise, you're going to have a gigantic left leg. My eyeballs are floating in the truck. Time to hit a stop there. Or a fuel pump, depending on which company you drive for. Christina, I'll jump for joy if the government closed. Right. What's going to happen? Nothing. It closed before, and did you notice any difference? No. You were working the entire time you were at home? Good. Good. As you know today, kids, no. They're not interested in working. I've had the best year I've had in 15 years. They commented that many trucking companies are not going to be eligible for any more relief because they're doing so good. They're making so much money that there won't be any more relief. And you notice out there, many trucking companies are out there putting out huge sign-on bonuses and tons of extra raises. And I was not able to find out how you get the money from U.S. Express. So if anybody knows that or works there, let me know how you get the $30,000 sign-on bonus. They are not putting out any information on how it works. I'd really like to know that. The only one that I found from them is in Shelbyville, Indiana, where U.S. Express hires local drivers for Kroger. That's the Kroger account out there at your home every day. And it's a $12,000 sign-on. It's $1,000 a month. They print it in their ads. They give you extra $1,000 every month for a year. That's how you get the $12,000 there. So there you go. But how does this over-the-road $30,000 sign-on bonus work? Henry Bob Swilkers. Hey, happy holidays. Hello there. Roger Penske going in for knee surgery. The pics won't be quite as revealing. All right, well, that's good. I feel like we're much closer than we've ever been. We'll say that. I hope this goes well. Lee Edwards, how is it is that all healed up by now then, I guess? Because that looked pretty grody then. Hey, Mark, so why do we have to do driving tests when we go to a company when we did the same test for the state to get our license? Why isn't that good enough for the company? I do think that after you have a few years of experience, certainly if you can come in with a few years and a clean driving record, I don't know why they make you take a driving test. I mean, come on. But it's everybody, and it's the same here and everywhere that I know of. It doesn't matter how long you've been driving. They make you come in and do a driving test. So it's just a waste of time. I worked with K&B Trent, I drove 2,800 miles and brought home $584. How did you do that? I mean, if they're advertising, they advertise what? $1,350, $1,300 or $1,350 guarantee. So 2,800 at 50 cents, which is $1,400. How are you bringing home $584? I'm really curious about that at 2,800 miles. George Wilson, kids today are soft and immature. They can't make it on their own. Well, there's always McDonald's for them. Most everybody started some kind of fast food. I worked at Arby's. Dad headed me 400 miles home for Christmas, steel horse. That's what they ought to do. That's what I requested companies to do. And so that's why you stay there, right? That's why that place is way above most other places. Incredible. Right. Send you home, get you back for the holiday if they want to. Kevin is here. Good. I've been waiting. Roger Pensky, there are more containers in our LA yard than it can handle. There's containers all over the port area. Well, let's get these things delivered. What happened to all those drivers that bought trucks out there? 584 for 2,800 miles is not good. That's true. But, you know, K&B advertises a guarantee. And 2,800 miles at 50 cents or whatever they pay there is way more than 584 unless you have some kind of deductions that K&B has nothing to do with. Because people have written to me, well, Mark, I have alimony and child support. Well, that's not your company's fault. I mean, that's nothing they can do about that. So is this just regular deductions? I don't get it. Mark's listed what to bring in the truck. Bring a pen. Yes. Have a CB, some kind of CB. High visibility vest. You should also have a vest. Most places want you to have a vest on now. Dash cam could save your career. Bluetooth speaker. Only if your Bluetooth radio doesn't work. I don't take it anymore. They fixed my radio, so I don't bring that right now. Gloves and a blue pair. You gotta have gloves. Don't ever touch anything outside the truck. And the gloves themselves don't go beyond right there at the fire extinguisher. That's where they sit. They don't ever go in the truck. And a blue parrot. Yes, you did. Absolutely. You must have a blue parrot. It's illegal to hold your phone. So, yeah, totally. Pretty sure that bonus is teams something pulling doubles. But how does it pay? That's what I'm curious about. How does it pay? They don't explain how. Does it take 2 years? A year? I mean, a year, that's pretty good. You know? All I see is a black screen. I have myself up here. Let's see. Let's go over here. Am I on the... Am I on it? Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. So, I'm on it here. Anyway, I show myself on here. Yep. There I am. I'm on. Okay, it should be on. I show myself on. So, it's the truth, not making it up. Okay, I believe you. Operation on the hip was November 3rd. I went back to the house after 2 weeks. Little sister is still in town. We released to work. Wow. All 3 sisters at Mom's house. They probably like that. The CSX yard in Bedford is void of containers. They're all being utilized. Well, they could apparently bring them in from the coast. Just noticed you updated the thumbnail for streams to put my company out there. Good. Okay, great. I'm glad they're up there. I mean, I wanted to put, the best companies out there on the thing. Yeah, and there'll be a new update for the new year, of course. This changed over for the holiday one. My brother, Luke, is 28 and I'm 25. He lives with our mom and works 15 hours a week. Why do parents allow this? I live with my grandparents and work 60 hours a week. I have plans in June of 22 to buy a house. Holy mackerel. See, I don't know. I guess I'm just different than I wouldn't allow it. You'd be out, both of you. I just would. Okay, you're welcome to come and visit whenever you want. But adults live on their own. So that's how I would work it. And at 15 hours a week, what the heck? There's tons of jobs. Everywhere I go, there's jobs. George Costanza, I found a kitten abandoned at a rest area on Christmas. Now I have a dog and a cat. You want a sweet kitten? I wish I could take another one. Gracie is not big on other cats, so she'll be the only cat here for a while. Believe me, there's plenty of cat rescues that will get that kitten placed. Bonuses have a higher tax rate, Hunsley. Generally, a bonus is taxed at a different rate. Isn't that great? So they take more money out of it. Kitten was starving and cold and wet. I will say I always carried a little bit of cat food and dog food with me because I never knew when I would find a cat or dog on the road or just treats to throw out there. And believe me, I appreciate you getting that cat. That's great. The Korean Mafia hires independents on a power-only basis. I'm sure. No questions asked. I bet they don't give a drug test. C.W. Carter, leaving Tijuana on my way to Compton, then Houston with GP Transco. All right, Compton. Oh, nice. Here, go from Tijuana to Compton. That sounds like a great load. Actually, then back to Houston is not bad, really. What do you think there? How do you take the place? Pretty good? No good? Oh, Kitty, it was meant to be, right? Man, that's your cat now. Steel horse driving test for employment is a requirement by the FMCSA. It goes in your driver qualification files that could be asked for an audit. All right, well, there you go. That I didn't know that. So there. All right, so then it's required. They got to fill it out, and I guess in an audit they'll say, did you give this driver a driving test? Christina says I'm on good. I mean, I show myself on here, but sometimes people are like, you don't do it, and I do forget that a lot, I will say. For people that are not here often, I'll leave some weird picture or something up for 20 minutes and not realize it. Took a test. Steve Smith took a test one time. A guy told me I would be surprised on so many guys bad driving. I would be surprised. I mean, if you come in with some experience and a clean record, I'd be surprised too. Nothing like that. I had to come home because of the coronavirus. I did everything they told me. I got scammed. Yeah, I mean, look, if you had if you had all those miles, you should have a check. I mean, there's no reason to not have a check. Roger Moore sees me. I don't know if that's good or not, though. How do you like working with GP Transco? Yeah, exactly. Let's see what you think here. Good afternoon, Ralph. What's going on? Donkey Bite. I have a vest for outside the truck. Bought it from a guy in Michigan. It was made up by this company called ISIS. Gets a lot of attention. Wow. ISIS. An ISIS vest. It's Mr. Plow is here. Hello. Jason, hello from Rochelle, Illinois, the Petro. He's thinking at the Petro. Well, maybe at the Petro. Always love 3 a.m. deliveries in Compton. Yeah, Philip, what time's the delivery in Compton? That's my question. Can you drop it off at City of Industry and have a local driver take it? Maybe that's a possibility. Kenneth, as much as I love you guys. No Mark, no show. I'm out of here. Okay, well, we'll see you soon. I am up here on the screen. And I apologize for that. Try resetting your thing there. My company is paying us for Christmas and New Year's. What's nice is I have a dedicated run, and they just pay me what I would have made that day instead of some random number. Yeah, there's a lot of companies that either give you, I've seen this, $50 for holiday. Why a random $50? Or, a third of your pay or something. No, a holiday should pay a day's pay if you're home. And if you work, you should get an extra day's pay for the holiday pay. Or whatever it is you make a day. Not some random number that they just dream up. While Bill always has a pocket full of dog cookies, the yellow ones have a cheese flavor. Plus, I have a shiny coat. Look at my hair. It did look very luxurious. Is the driver to 2,800 miles a lease driver? Oh, that's a good question. 28. Are you leasing the truck? Do they do that at K&B? I don't even know if they have that there. Some people treat their pets like children and their children like pets. That's true. I treat this cat like a family member. Our truck drivers considered essential workers to be able to get the vaccine. Yeah, you're in the next, apparently you're in the next 1 or 2 ranges of people to get it if it's something that you'd want. CVS and Walgreens going to carry it, apparently. So, and they're already giving it out here. Not CVS, but the hospital. IU's giving it out here. They have a big hospital here. So, yeah, you'll be able to go get it. And as we found out on here, it won't cost anything. So that's pretty good. If it's something that you want to get. Hey, Mark, sorry for being late to the live stream. I'm on my way to Sedalia, Missouri. Samuel Edward. All right, well, welcome in. What are Arby Jamocha shakes made of? Columbia, Georgia. I don't know. I never knew that. They don't tell us, the lowly people, all the ingredients. Roger Penske, the legitimate Korean businessman social club is in Compton. Rosecrans in Figueroa. It's a long, boring 750-mile drive from El Paso to Houston. Have dinner at Papa's restaurant. You deserve it. All right. This is just my personal opinion, George Wilson. I'm not recruiting for these people, but here's some viable options for drivers wanting off the road. GP is giving a $25 gift card to who? Who are they giving? To everybody? Good morning, Chef Matt. Last Monday of the year. All right. It's nothing just small. Have a meal on us. All right. That's awesome. Any extra $25, I'll take it. Our truck drivers considered essential workers will be able to get a vaccine. Yeah, they're talking about it. You're not essential like the media, which I love. The media they put. But we are considered essential workers. Chris Spears like, oh, the essential workers. So Maddie, howdy, fellas. How, Mark, are you getting the vax? No, I will not be getting it. I have too much of a reaction to the flu shot, which I've taken a few times and got talked into again, about a year ago and almost died from it, I thought. So every time I get it, I get super sick. So, and talked to the doctor about it this summer, and he recommended I not take it. So I won't be getting it unless it's mandated. Then we'll have to talk to the doctor about getting a note. The Korean Mafia is a fair place to be power only in Indy. Some have multiple trucks. One guy has 3 recent models, in new condition trucks. That's good. I mean, they got enough money to buy that stuff, right? Local work Chicago is Schnitt Cartage in Hanover Park. Never heard of it. There are tons of cartage companies up there, though. Tons of them. Patrick, my LTL freight company pays us for an 8-hour day at our hourly rate. Is that more or less than you make, though? See, if you regularly work, say, 12 hours a day, so you're getting overtime at the end of the week, if you're hourly, you should really get whatever a day's pay is for you. You know, if you work 5 days and, make $1,400, you should get a fifth, 1/5 of that, 20%, $280. You shouldn't just get 8 hours at your straight time pay. They're kind of hosing you on the holiday, making the holiday an imposition rather than an actual day off where you don't have to worry about anything. Alexander, the media can kiss you. They've always got a spin, nothing but a load of spin artists. Yeah, right. One side spins in one direction and one in the other. Yes, I agree, right. But they're listed as one of the most essential right after doctors, because I know the people in my life that I count on, doctors and then the media. Right. Essential is a code word for expendable. Roger Moore. I never liked any of that. Essential workers. It's ridiculous. Nobody's an essential worker when you really think about it. If you died tomorrow, would your company close? Okay. Would they care? Would they even care? Probably wouldn't even care. Much less close. So nobody's really essential where, the world can't get on without you. People need to realize that. They did that just to get people that work at restaurants to go to work. Oh, you're essential. We love you. Go down to the Speedway and start selling gas. So that's the only reason they did that. Luke, my old company used to pay $20.89 times 9 hours for a day off for a holiday. So why is that? Here's a random amount and 9 hours of pay. How much is a day's pay? It's easy to figure out because they do it generally for vacation. Most places not all, but most places give you a week's pay, whatever your average week is. Although I still see some advertising $500 a week for vacation or whatever. That's not really a vacation when you lose half your pay. I got the flu shot this year for the first time in years after having bad reactions. The bandit. Yeah, I'm just not up for it. I'm just not. And this new one, they said, because they've read a lot about this, and they said, look, if you have a bad reaction to other shots, this shot may be something you want to talk to your doctor about before you take it. And I'm like, well, I have a bad reaction to these flu shots. And so I'm going to pass on it at least for a while. V. Singh Teaming in Elk Grove, Illinois. That might be a legitimate place, but holy mackerel. Is that $10.99? Come on. Elk Grove, Illinois. V. Singh Teaming. If I were to go over 40 hours and it hits overtime, Patrick. Right, it should. And it should go in overtime. And if you make more than 8 hours a day, you should get paid that. T.H. Ryan, they were up there. They used to run cartage when I was doing cartage in Chicago. They've been out there forever in Chicago. Cash King Trucking is here. So I'm late. I got to poop on my flip-flops. I missed the bag. You got to be careful about that. You got to get the correct stance going when you're leaning up against that pole at the fuel island, which I've seen happen. My company pays 8 hours for holiday pay, Columbia, Georgia. Yeah, it's probably less than you make, though. I just don't think you should take a pay cut to have a holiday. If they're going to pay a holiday, give you the holiday. Although you did great on this holiday. Thinking of my company closing puts a smile on my face. You love it there. I think you got promoted. That's why we haven't seen you. We're all essential because we're essential to our families. Christina, right. Essential to your family. Correct. They put it out as essential workers, which that we're not, because the company doesn't care. We could all quit and they would just hire new people. Remember back in April when they kicked around a $10,000 payment? They did. Day cab, gear jammer to expendable workers for being heroes. That was bait and switch. Yeah, it was like $15 an hour for all hours worked, although I thought this is really, not workable. It'd be way complicated to figure out. But right, it was going to be tons of money. Oh, and then everybody's like, well, I better make all these hours up because they wanted you to go in. Now what are they talking about? Here's a couple $100. Hope this keeps you for a while. Chef Matt, every employer I've worked for shorted me on pay. I get that a lot, although they do correct it. They will correct it the next week. I've never ran it the opposite direction, which I always comment to them. I'm never like, oh, here's an extra $10,000, right? It's never like that. It's always, why is my check $53 or something like that? Alexandra, this place is smaller than a cracker box and slower than frozen molasses. What is happening? I figured that place would go to large places. Say no to drugs, especially the vaccine, Stephen. Well, I think you should talk to your doctor, so ask him if it's right for you. Elk Grove Village equals Polish Mafia 1099. I think that name of that company would just be something I'd have to really look into. Columbia, George, you're an essential end user. Right. That's what they want everybody to think, too. How hard is it to change your state CDL, Roger Moore? You just go, you got to have an address in the new state and figure out all their rules. And right now, I don't know if it's hard or not to get into the DMV. Polish, Russian, Serbian, Bosnian, whatever, Roger Pensky. Yeah, and some companies advertise that, by the way, in Chicago. We speak, and then they have all these languages at the bottom. And they're usually this type of language. So, not that that's not okay, I guess, but you do have to speak English to have a CDL. Keenan Transit Company in Carroll Stream, Illinois. Oh, never heard of that place. Ryan Cartage, I have heard of them. We're seeing more and more companies in the Chicagoland area, GP Transco, moving away from 1099. We're always W-2 and have a small hope that we're the ones who started it. I hope so. There's like 90% of them, unfortunately, in the Chicago area, are 1099 companies, hosing people out of a lot of benefits. Drivers seem to enjoy it, and it's until it goes bad, and then it goes very bad. No way. By the end of November, I hit the maximum amount of PTO you can accumulate. Don't like this donkey bite. Oh, so you accumulate it per hour worked or whatever? There shouldn't be a maximum then. That's weird. That's so weird. Grain transportation, George Wilson. Oh, right. I've seen those trucks around too. They've been around forever. Thomas, thank you for your advice, Mark. It's really helpful. Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure to do it. Alexandra, not all the time at a place of 4 docks. Really? It's a little independent deli distribution center. Hey, do they have, so are you not delivering your normal product to them? He there, Cash is King. He's out here somewhere random, but seen a Celadon truck and trailer on the road. Gregory, yeah, every once in a while I still get pictures of this, and I have no idea where they're getting these. The trailers are sold at auction. Where the trucks are coming from, there's still trucks parked at parking lots. This is a year now. Somebody sent me one just a few weeks ago at a truck stop. It's still in a parking place. I'm sure it's dead now from not being moved. It's crazy. All these companies from Chicago, it's called the Sweatpants Mafia. Oh, the Tracksuit Mafia. Illinois requires all tests, written tests, pre-trip inspection tests, driving tests, including backing. That's for any CDL from another state transfer to Illinois, Steel Horse. So they're going to make it hassle. You can't just go in and exchange, I guess, is what you're saying. If I died tomorrow, would any of you continue to exist? Oh, we don't know. You wouldn't either, though, would you? Romar Transportation. I never heard of Romar. Where are all these places located? GP Transco. Did the gift winner from last week get his or her card in the mail? Let's see if they're out here. California DMV not taking any written tests, just renewing your license. Well, what if somebody moves there, though? What are they doing to people that move in? Right then. I saw a 1099 company in Chicago that claimed to speak Klingon. They could write that on there. Now, I'm not fluent in that, so that would be a problem for me. Oh, you're picking up at that place. You're not entirely sure what the product is. Is it half pounds of shaved ham all wrapped up in those little things that they sell at the deli? Irishman, sorry I'm late. Well, welcome anyway. George Wilson, the companies I mentioned are legit hourly pay. Some are union. The union ones, you'd certainly do better pay on the hour, I think. Fun fact, last week's live stream had a post in the comments about how they're sick and tired of GP Transco being called a good company. Oh, I didn't see that. Really? Oh, how horrible to call a place good company. We checked and found any schedule for orientation for Monday. Nice. Remember, don't print anything you wouldn't want posted on the front page of the newspaper. Why would you not want to work for a place that's called a good company by other random people? I mean, nobody's paid to be on this channel anyway. So, and the live show is one of the only live shows with no ads. So there you go. He was driving cylinder selling on DOT numbers. Yeah, there's no selling on. So I don't know if this is a driver just using this truck to kind of gypsy, like a gypsy cab picking up loads. I don't know. Would you consider Amazon Prime the CRST of owner-operators? Well, I will say CRST has nicer trucks than most Amazon Prime floral trucks that I see driving around. You don't usually see a Century class driving a CRST trailer around. I mean, where the people find these trucks is just beyond me. Is there some huge lot of old trucks somewhere? Like in the desert where they have all those airplanes parked? Is there a lot of trucks that have, covers over them that they uncover and start up and go, here's your truck for Amazon? Romar Transportation. Romar. Let's see. Romar's been in Chicago for years. Conflicting laws like must test in English and must provide tests in the native language is what caused the Colorado pileup. Chef Matt, it should be only in English in America, especially for CDL, which is required. People can say, oh, that's terrible. It's a requirement. It's a legal requirement. Sam, hello from a somewhat snowy Colorado. Gotta love getting an extra day off because my load isn't ready. As long as they pay you. Okay. Do they pay you for that? That's always what I wonder. Here's a GP Transco driver. Very happy. We're so sick of that. That's amazing. Oh, also, I'm coming to work there. I'm going to post this. Brilliant. The stuff that goes on, this must happen at all companies. This is ridiculous. Plays at Dart, we get $500 per day. That's nice. On top of our regular mileage. That's great. $500. If we work both holidays, Christmas and New Year's, then it's $200. So an extra $1,200 above mile and another $200. That's super great. Another week's check. That's awesome. $500. Now that's a reason people would come in and work. Is there work to do at Dart on Christmas? Maybe there is. The companies I mentioned all have good websites. Look them up on your own. Some I've heard of, like Grain. They've been around forever. What is the roller wiener topping of the day? Hey, top it with whatever you want as long as it's mustard. Chicken hauler. I'm local for Tyson, and you're feeding people like family. Use our 13-week average for holiday pay. That's the way it should be, right? That's how much you make. And the time count towards overtime. Oh, sure, hourly. That's even better. We're off on Friday, but anything over 32 hours is OT. Great. So they're doing it the right way. Right? So here's your average. Here's another day. Perfect. Amazon works with new owner-operators. Yes, they'll take anybody that has a truck that starts. GP Transco. Yeah, not ketchup for sure. Exactly. A Chicago dog. You can go get them at carts all over town. Sony Walton. Anybody else waiting for mentors to train? This is a perennial problem. Where are you and how long have you been waiting for a mentor? And let me ask, is it your, not fault, but are you waiting for a specific mentor? Like, I want a woman to train me, or, I only want somebody that lives within 10 miles of East Armpit, Iowa, that kind of thing, because that can hold up getting a trainer. Amazon trucks are usually turned up from cheap fleet trucks that are well worn out. Well, aviator trucker. There's no fleets that I know of that are still running Century class trucks on the road, but I see a lot of them pulling Amazon trailers. I mean, Centuries. I see some Columbias, but I still see those for some fleets, I guess. Sam, detention pay starts 2 hours after the initial load time. Doesn't bother me. I get to go back home. Okay, fine. As long as you're at home, so fine. Jeff, a GP Transco driver, very happy. I didn't know there were that. I'm always surprised to see how many GP Transco drivers there are. I worked for some, considering they don't have the, 80,000 trucks. Of these, but my air was back in the 90s. Absolutely, we are packed full of work and mostly all drop and hook. I've only unloaded like once in 3 weeks. Trucker brought perfect. Isn't that the way to go? Drop and hook, if you can arrange it, right, is like the best way to do trucking, I think. Your company drivers at GP Transco get holidays off and paid if they want, and then they can decide to work and get paid for the work and the holiday pay. Some drivers decide to work the days because of the extra money. Right, so they work, make extra, or you stay home, get the holiday pay. Perfect. Why are there companies that are saying you can stay home and we don't pay you on holidays? It's holidays. Jason Hall, W2 Reefer paid 31%. I grossed $33.18 running through Christmas week. Good times. Nice. Nice. Can I get a Chicago-style hot dog at the Loves in South Holland? Michael, no, you get them from a cart that hasn't been washed in 3 weeks from some dude standing on Western Avenue. That's where you get this thing, and you eat it that way. So that's where you get a Chicago dog. Anybody that lives in the Chicago area knows exactly what I'm talking about. So if a dart driver runs his truck into Target, does that become a new company called Bullseye Trucking? That's how they get them out there. It's bad when dispatch says don't expect to be loaded. It's not sure if it's because of the holidays or the virus. Well, here's the thing. How long will they pay you if the load doesn't get ready until tomorrow on that load? GP Transco, to be honest, if your company was 6,000 trucks, their cost of paying drivers holiday is much higher compared to 430. Yeah, I mean, some drivers are going to want to work, though. If you're like you guys run over the road, some people will want to work and stay out, so you'd only have some of it. And, just jack a couple extra bucks onto loads that week to pay the holidays. Nobody will notice. That's what I think. Valentine Singh was German. They started in the 1890. Roderick Tiemann started in 1890. Wow. When they don't have a DOT number that reflects that, though, because the lowest DOT number's from the 20s, I think. Of course, maybe they weren't giving them out yet. But because I've always seen that ad for the company has DOT number 6 or whatever. I remember seeing them in their ads. Oh, well, our DOT number is so low. That's what the problem is. Hey, the 7175 bridge from Kentucky to Ohio, it's open. I read something today that I didn't know about it. Did you know this? You're not allowed to take hazmat over that bridge. I had no idea about this. That truck that was taking that hazmat out there wasn't allowed to be on there. And they commented in the article, there are no signs. And I didn't know that. But apparently there is a regulation that no hazmat is allowed over the bridge. I didn't have any idea. Apparently you're supposed to go around, like Indianapolis, which is all signed up. But that bridge, which just opened the other day, no hazmat. They said they're going to put signs up now about it, so you're going to have to go around. You saw a DOT number of 234. That's really low, too. They put them out in order. And I think I've seen high 3 millions now. So I think they're at least that high. I don't know if I've seen one higher than that. In the high 3 millions, but they go in order. And that could be one person buys a truck to haul Amazon, they get a DOT number. Then the next person buys a truck, starts a company, they get the next DOT number. So they go up in order. You can just look on your door to get an idea of when your company was started. So Doug Andrews Distributing has it. Okay, so yeah, they've been open for a long time, and I've told people up in the Northwest to go talk to them because they're one of the better places to get into trucking if you have no experience up in the Northwest, to talk to Doug Andrews up there. There's tons of people that love the place. The pay is not super high, but I will tell you get treated better there than a lot of places, especially when you're new. Much better than other northwestern United States trucking companies that might be in the same area. Went over that bridge a few times with hazmat. I got lucky twice. Well, it's never been signed. They said, they actually commented there are no signs, which I didn't even know that. So I don't Target much, mostly do P&G. Nice. Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and it's all in and out, drop and hook, no waiting. No waiting for load once empty, usually at pre-plans. That's the way to go, and then you don't have to wait. You can actually make money, especially for your mileage. GP Transco, Trucking Answers, you might have an issue with your P.O. box. By the way, we sent you something that got returned. Oh, I'll have to go check on that. Oh, thank you for that. I'll go over there this week. Mayfield Transfer Company in Melrose Park. I don't know who Mayfield is. Alexander's got a 5-digit DOT number. Right, that place has been open for a while. Right, because at least in the high 3 millions. High 3 millions now. And any Yahoo, as they say, who can finance a $7,000 Freightliner Century with less than 2 million miles on it can start hauling Amazon freight around. Why can't truck numbers be reused if the old one is sold and decommissioned? Aviator Trucker. I think you have to buy the company because that number goes to that company. If you bought Celadon from bankruptcy, I think you could start their whole thing up. I'm not sure how that works, though. My phone is down. Anyone else? You're in southern Indiana. Well, let's see here. No, we're good here. We got a good signal. AT&T here. So there you go. Sometimes, though, you just have to restart the phone like everything else. GP Transco, we have contract customers. You offer dedicated runs to trusted drivers, but at the moment not dedicated lanes where the driver does the same thing every week. That's in the plans. Stay tuned. As you get bigger and you can have more of these customers, I bet drivers would love it. But then I always say that, and we do a lot of dedicated, and drivers don't like it. So I think you're going to have drivers switching in and out of it. It takes a different kind of driver to like that. The custom companies in North Lake, Illinois, right? I've heard of them too. Trucker Bob, you're out. Lunch is over. But if anyone wants more info on DART, just message you and you reply, yeah, look, that's a good holiday program. Am I the only ones who think those no-name rent-to-own companies are suspicious? I've seen that. Rent-to-own. Like, kind of like a rent-a-center. You get rent to only 18 months and you rent-to-own. It's crazy. Rent-to-own. Take note of the body language in advertisements for trucking. The truck driver pausing, chuckling, and continuing is a telltale sign of a line being a lie. Yeah. Places don't usually use drivers, although I guess I've seen some ads with them. All the companies George Wilson is listing have been around a long time. Wild Bill, I've heard of some of them, and you're up there all the time. But yeah, some are old companies. Roger Moore, how do we buy a die-cast model for GP Transco? I meant if your company replaced the truck, but the driver wants his new one with the same number. Aviator Trucker, I don't know. It's up to the company to number their trucks. I don't think that's any kind of federal thing. They just have to be numbered. I guess your company won't let you reuse it. I don't know. Probably it's some kind of computer system where that truck can't be in there. It would be in there like twice under two different VIN numbers. That's what I could see. Another one of our plans for 2020 is to go from 52% contracted to 75%. Ooh, will that help? Because right now the rates are really up. But I guess the contract, I'm not thinking long term. I'm just thinking next week. So yeah, contracted freight can lock it in. Should do better. Then at least you'll know what's going on too. The ones you mentioned are food for thought. We do not sell them. We had some custom made to send to bigger customers, but you can buy them from third-party toy suppliers in various places. All right. Third-party toy supplier. PAM Transport has a waiting list of 100 people. Well, waiting to start with PAM, are there any cons and pros about the company? It's horrible. I wish you weren't there. So did you go through Driver Solutions? And see, they shouldn't, if they have 100 people waiting, they shouldn't hire anybody else. How long did they say it's going to take you before you get with somebody? So it's just a waiting list. You'll take any random person. How long is it going to be before they get to you? I mean, holy mac. These companies complain they can't get. This is funny. And this is a perfect example. These large ATA companies like PAM complain, oh, there's a driver shortage. Well, they have 100 people on a waiting list. How is there a driver shortage if you have a waiting list of people to come and work for you? That's not exactly what I call a driver shortage. What's the wait time? What are they talking about? And are you being paid? Which I'm probably going to say no, 90% no. Did they at least send you home on their dime? Sign may say drive like a boss, but should say drives like an idiot on the back of some trucks. You know what? They're solid. A lot of those companies are great companies, right? You're correct, George Wilson. I got my rig from Rent-A-Center. They deliver and pick up. They make deliveries for you. Rent-A-Center. Who rents? Look, leasing is one thing. Okay, but rent, and I've seen these ads. Rent your truck from us. I've seen it in some places. Rent. Like, oh my gosh. Rent to me includes all maintenance and everything then. So maybe it does. Because if I rent a car from Enterprise, I don't go fix the thing. So maybe that does work. So you went through Driver Solutions. So you're locked into a contract. What is the wait time going to be for you here? Because they're going to enforce that contract. Roger Penske, North Lake. You got to say it. North Lake and Melrose Park are the traditional Italian mafia. My brother-in-law's from over there. Yeah, right. You can only use a truck number once, and the FMCSA requires you to move on to another number. What do they care? The FMCSA. But different companies could have the same truck number, but it can't be the same company has the same truck number on two different trucks. Oh my gosh, FMCSA. We have a couple owner-operators that bought former fleet trucks. They have a 0 in front of it. Same truck number as when it was a fleet truck, just with a 0. That's a different number, though, right? In the computer, the computer just recognizes that as a 6-digit instead of a 5-digit. Plus, that way the company can eyeball the owner-operators quicker. Alexander, get 6 months and come over. This is by far the best company I pulled for. Look, get your time in it there and leave. I don't know what your contract is, so you're going to want to stay the end of the contract. Kevin, 100 people waiting, not good. I know. GP Transco, we normally prefer to have consistency for the year instead of high-paying loads for 3 months and low-paying ones for the following 3 months. It means we could systematically increase pay also. Yeah, I'm just seeing the bigger dollars right now. But right, you got a lot of trucks that you have to keep moving. I don't. But I agree, right? You want to know you're going to have freight all year. I totally agree, right? There's a company out here where you can rent the truck for CDL training. You provide the trainer, they provide the truck, much cheaper than going to school. Sure. Of course, school can be free depending on the state, though. Tommy Cash, have you ever watched auto haulers on YouTube? Some of the rates are disgusting. I saw one listing New York City to Miami for $600. Wow. They're all down there. But here's the thing. If somebody takes it, I mean, posting it for whatever is, if somebody will take it, right? And thank you very much for that. Super chat, by the way. But if somebody takes it, is the rate too low? I mean, the rate, like in a free market, is whatever somebody will do it for. So is the rate really too low? I don't know. It's hard to make money doing that, certainly. I don't know how you go down there and then, have a $200 check or whatever, but I agree with you. But if somebody takes it, holy mackerel. Me and Steve Singh did not see eye to eye in 96. Oh, I'm about to have a heartache. The sun is actually out. Nice. Maybe it'll get the cell phone started. Any suggestion on waiting for PAM and signing with another company? You have a contract. That's the problem. You have a contract, I'm sure, that you've already signed for PAM. How long are they going to make you sit there? And they're going to want to enforce that contract. They're not going to let that go. They just are not going to let that go. Roger Moore. Oh, thank you very much. Goodness, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm amazing, it says. That's funny. You should allow more home time 1 week for 3 weeks out. I don't mind. That's the thing about GP Transco or any company. I don't mind the home time as long as they advertise it, which they do. Going in saying, okay, this is the home time. And so do you want to do it? That's what I always tell people. Find a company that fits your lifestyle. As some people love being out. I've stayed out months at a time. So if that's okay, then go work there. But don't go there and then it's a problem, right? They say, here, you're going to be out and have this time off. So the thing is when companies say something and then don't do it, that's a real problem. MB Global is a rental truck company. They're the one with the neon orange sign that says $2,500. I've seen pay stubs. It's legit. Rent your truck from us. Sony, look up GP Transco. GP Transco does require experience, so that's not going to work for you there. Swift is a good company to work for. It'd be better than Driver Solutions. Finally got my makeup done. Alexandra, these people keep bugging me. I know, that's the problem. I'm trying to do my makeup, and then somebody keeps bugging me. I'm loaded or whatever. I'm like, come on. I'm trying to put on my makeup. I hear you. Adco, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Appreciate Mr. Trucking Answers. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that from you. We could do it right now if we could, but GP Transfer. But at the moment, our customer base is not working on improving sometime further. You never know what the future holds. Any pay under $1 per mile is crap pay. It doesn't matter whether the employer's mom and pop or mega. I think $1 a mile to haul a car. Maybe if you could put 10 cars on there, then you can make some money, right? Eddie McFadden. Hello, everyone. The bigger ones you can't fit on there. Everybody's got to buy an F-250 to go drive to work in by themselves, When a driver comes on board at GP Transco, we know he'll stay up for 3 weeks. We don't tell him you'll be out 2 weeks and hope for the best. That leads to turnover. Yeah, being upfront with stuff is way the better way to do it, and all these companies should do that. If you're out for 6 weeks at a company, which I've seen, 6 weeks and a week off, then that's what they should do. Okay, here, you're going to be out 6 weeks and you're going to be off for a week. Just tell people up front. And hey, tell them, be honest. It's not going to be 5 weeks. It's 6 weeks. And just be honest about it. It's Mr. Plow. Tip your host. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Believe me. 600 is average. Hot shot 600 times 4 cars, $2,400 2-day run. Depends how much gas it takes to get down there, or a diesel on a hot shot. And can you put 4 on a 4 car? You get these, 2 excursions. That's all that fits on there. Holiday rates are amazing. Current load to Minnesota, North Carolina, 1,236 miles to $4,300. Not bad. That's almost worth getting a truck. Can we look after our planet by not doing pee bottles and trash on the off ramps? No, drivers could care less about that. I don't know why they have these in their truck and then throw them out right there. Can you at least wait and put them in an approved sanitary container a dumpster or something somewhere. People have to pick this stuff up. I've ever been to Union Station in Indianapolis. I have not. Been to the Indy Airport, but not to Union Station. I can tell you all about the airport. Misty, a lot of the good companies that took trainees or recent grads have dried up. I know. And so we got PAM left. I'm still waiting. I can't wait to see how long they're saying on 100 drivers. 100 drivers. And their stock is 46.20 today. So not bad. 46.20. Misty, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Goodness. Driver Solutions recruits for Swift too. His contract is with them. Really? On their page, Driver Solutions, they only have PAM on there. Only PAM is featured on there. Austin drives an F-250 to work every day. That's the thing. People go and buy a $70,000 pickup and drive it to work by themselves and say, well, I need a pickup because one time a year I have to haul 7 bags of cement to my house. And so I have to buy this 250 and drive it all the way, to work every day. So, that's what they do. Hotshots have to buy a new truck every year. Really? Even 100-some thousand miles seems like every few years. I'm going to drive to Chicago to get a pizza. Christina, why don't you go to Lou Malnati's, which is outside Indianapolis, and get your pizza there. Lou Malnati's, a downtown Chicago staple of pizza. They have one outside Indianapolis. Look them up. Go get that pizza. It's Chicago pizza brought to people of Indianapolis. So that would be the way to do it. Lou Malnati's. They are now in Indianapolis. Holland has a discrimination suit against them. Isn't that great? And Olive Branch, Mississippi. Do you know they haven't hired any women there since 2005? That's right. 15 years, no women. So, and they've only hired a smattering of women, which is the word they used in there, since 1986. So the EEOC is saying, look, are you telling us no women applied here or whatever, and there's no qualified women? So they got a problem. No women in 15 years. They haven't hired one woman in that place. And Olive Branch, lawsuit for them. That'll be settled too, I assume, at some point. Isn't USA Truck part of Driver Solutions? They don't advertise any of the rest of that on their site. Get you a small Jeep truck. Oh, that Gladiator thing? Yeah, I want a truck that has a really tiny bed, but I really don't want to drive a Subaru Brat around. So just PAM and Swift or Driver Solution. They don't advertise that on their site, certainly. George H.W. Bush loses the best pizza. Yes, absolutely. Lou Malnati's now in Indianapolis. So you don't have to go there and take the train to Chicago. You can get it right in Indianapolis. I think USA is too. Philip Trucker, really? Or used to be? They should put that on their site. Chef Matt, the best pizza ever is pizza pie directly from Chicago. Exactly. And Lou Malnati's is the place to go. You don't have to Amtrak it up there and then take it all the way back home. It's going to be cold by then. If you're going to Chicago for pizza, it's a waste of gas. You might as well go to New York and get real pizza. I'm just joking. Everybody has their preferences. Yeah, that is a funny joke. Because what's the point of going to New York for that? That's funny. Doug, question, do you think they're going to mandate this COVID shot? The government wouldn't be able to mandate the shot. They've already talked about that. But companies could mandate the shot. They had a couple of lawyers on the Trucking Show talking about that. Your company could mandate, especially if you interact with people, that to work here, you'd be required to either get the shot or get a note from your doctor. That's why I've already talked to my doctor about getting that type of note. So they could, but they don't. They don't mandate any other shot at companies that I know of and haven't been able to find of a company that does that. Nobody. You don't have to get a polio shot. You don't have to get tuberculosis shot, diphtheria, measles. You're not required to have any of these other shots at companies. They don't mandate that. Flu shot, they don't even really mandate that I know of other than at a doctor's office. So will your company do it? I've asked here and they go, oh, well, we don't have any idea. So ask your company, but I don't see that happening. I mean, that would put a real divide between the people that work there. Anyone get caught in the 60-something vehicle crash in Pennsylvania last week? That was a total mess. Can people back off and slow down for 2 seconds? The pictures of that were crazy. Companies would mandate it, Austin. I could see that happening. I could only see it happening at a company that says, look, all of our drivers are vaccinated, that kind of thing. They would use it as some kind of selling point. But then what if a driver wasn't vaccinated? They'd have to give you a medical exemption, especially if you have a note from your doctor. It'd be really tough to say no, or, we're not going to be able to do that. So I think that's a problem. Bring a fork for Chicago pizza? Exactly. I mean, you can't pick it up. You need a jack to pick it up anyway at 4 pounds per slice. You know, no way. There's no way to be able to do that. Even Bridget likes pizza. I lost my page. Oh, there it goes. Right there. My alma mater, Pride Transport, is offering a whopping 46 cents per mile. That means most of the experienced drivers get a raise. Misty, wow. You know, at 46 now, they're a little behind, as all these other companies are raising. Even Schneider's advertising 54 cents in their ads. So, yeah, they're going to have to step it up a little bit. New York style chicken parm pizza is the best. I've never even seen that on a pizza. It sounds like an abomination. There are actually 3 types of Chicago pizza, which is otherwise called pizza. The most common is Sicilian. It's made round by all the big companies. Exactly. Californian, I want to get rich, so I'm moving to New York. Everything is overpriced, like carry-out garbage like California, where they all moved to Texas. Is that really what Chicago pizza is? Chicago pizza is like 4 inches thick and, reversed. When Grandma makes them, they're large rectangular pies. We put several of them in the basement refrigerator. It opens from the top. Oh, my grandmother was not a big cook. All I remember from her are TV dinners and buying her cigarettes. So would they ever bring paper logs back? No. I'll tell you this right now, that is not going to happen. Paper logs are done. The only way you're going to see a paper log is to buy an old truck or have your ELD go out. You're not going to see those come back. With technology and stuff, no way. That's not going to happen. Anyone know anything about Raider Express? Yeah, Raider, Sam. I know they have slow trucks, but other than that, yeah, look, they at least, which people said no to this, but they do say on their site in that if you live in the Fort Worth area, the training there is free for Raider Express. So that's what they say. And I've had people go over there, although nobody's ever wrote back to me. But they say free training. It'd be a way in the Fort Worth area to get your license at no cost. They are very slow. You're coming up to somebody slow, you're like, oh, crap, another prime truck. Oh, wait a minute, it's Raider. Oh, all right. The second type, it's still horrible, but it's a different company. The second type of medium crust, like Connie's Pizza. I have been to a Bears game and devoured an entire Connie's Pizza before the game. Wow, pre-game in the pizza. I was trying to give people that want off-the-road in Chicago region a viable option to research their hourly benefits. Yeah, anybody that lives near Chicago or probably any large city and doesn't want to be on the road can probably get off the road and make the same money that they're making on the road. Now here, if you're living in East Armpit, Iowa, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get off the road. I've had people write to me, Mark, I want to get off the road. And then I'm like, well, where do you live? And they'll give some little map and I have to go find it. And the nearest town's like 86 miles. I'm like, well, it's going to be very difficult, for you to get off the road. The only good thing I can say about PAM is they bailed me out of jail in El Paso. Philip, that's pretty good. See, the problem is PAM and these places have a contract, which you've probably already signed if you're waiting for a trainer. Well, when you go to apply somewhere else, they're going to say, no, this person's under contract with us, and that's what they do. And so the next place is they're not as likely to hire you until you satisfy the contract. CRST sues companies over this, but they're the only ones I've heard about suing. It's tough when you're in a contract. I would recommend, if you could, to work the contract out. And you did sign it, although I don't think they're keeping their end of the deal. But again, I'm not a lawyer. You should call the local FMCSA field office about that. But seriously, they should have work for you. I don't know how long you're going to wait. It's a real problem. Then there's the cracker thin tavern style pizza, which is cut in pieces instead of slices. Yeah, Chicago. That's how we get pizza here. The wife likes Chicago cut, which is what I call it, which is square cut pizza. She gets her pizzas cut into squares, and so you have more pieces without crust. Vaccines for everyone, Adco? Not. Special passport and a whole new 9 yards. That is true, they said, if you're traveling, which you've been watching because the wife travels to Seattle once or twice a year. You may need a special passport, including domestic flights, to travel. So that would be interesting. Well, Bill, I missed the taco pizza I used to get from a place in a place long gone. Where would that have been up there? I still see companies from Florida with brand new trailers with an ad at 40 cents a mile. Sweet. 40 cents in Florida. Wow. How many? I mean, that's way low anymore. Raider owns Fort Worth Free Trucking School. I've only heard bad reviews. It doesn't get great reviews, but it's free. I mean, PAM doesn't get good reviews either. So at least this place is not PAM. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's in your area if you live there. Is it illegal to have a radar detector? Yes, for many years. Decades. Not allowed to have a radar detector in the truck. Did they outlaw new glider kits? Yeah, some kind of law passed recently. No more new gliders. 6 years ago, I sent my grandmother a bottle of wine. I carded her first and told her Merry Christmas, oldie moldy. She was confused at first. Nice. I'm sure that went well. Hey, Merry Christmas, yo lady. She put you in timeout. Yeah, no doubt. Christina, that Pizza Lou Malnati's is coming to Carmel on a location on Ferguson. Yeah, it's open in Carmel. I've had people get it and send me pictures of it. Taunted me with it. Are you ever going to go back, bring back doing it better? Yes, next year we're going to do more company reviews. Austin, I saw an ad for a local mail line haul. That is true. 30 an hour, 5 goes towards your health benefits. Yes. 10 speeds and autos, but they have cameras and slip seat. What's your opinion? If you want to haul the mail, from what I understand, you get a time. So 10:10 to 10:22, you're at a mail place or whatever, and at that time you leave. Next place, you leave. Slip seating, I don't mind if you're home every day. I just wouldn't slip seat a truck I have to sleep in. But I've seen these ads because the 10 Roads is one place. Solo is another place in Indianapolis. And they run the mail. And it's just like this, 30.11 an hour or whatever. And it says 5.11 goes towards your health and benefits. And they do that. And they run the mail. And you get a route. At Tuesday at 9 p.m. you leave. And you go to these places and come back. Yeah. I mean, it gives you a regular check. And the mail will always keep going. They continue to fund it. So, although they talked about not doing it on Saturday, I don't think that's going to happen, though. Slim Shady, Schneider is giving 6 cents raise on the 20 bonus. You'd be at 50 cents with 1 year and 48 cents as a newbie. Yeah, Schneider's stepping up with some money. Drivers at pull Amazon trailers are one extreme to the other. They're either doing 55 or 85. I know, that's the other problem with them. What are we doing here? They're going super slow or 1,000 miles an hour. I'm like, what is going on? And they're the same people that you go to pass when they're doing 55 and then they're doing 85. They go zoom right past you again. Triumph Logistics, 999 Remington Boulevard in Bolingbrook. They were great by me. It was my last gig in 2004, George Wilson. All right. Home every day, I assume. Vision CDL driving school in Dallas is a zillion times better. Well, and see if Texas will pay you to go to truck school. A lot of states will allow you to go to truck school, and they will pay for the truck school. It doesn't even matter if you're unemployed. That's the thing. You can call the Department of Unemployment and say, I want training or whatever. A lot of states do it. It's well worth a phone call. Then you have a license and no contract. Cash is King Trucking. What's a bigger deal breaker? Household good miles or driver facing cameras? Short miles for me. And as always, tip your host. Thank you, Cash is King Trucking. I don't like either one, of course. Household miles are going to kill your paycheck. Driver facing camera can kill your career. So it's tough to say, right? It depends how the company treats you about the cameras. That's what I tell everybody. It depends how they treat you, because you don't want to get fired for a safety violation. You start getting problems with the camera. If they fire you over the things that you do on the camera, they always put it down as a safety violation. Then the next company says, oh yeah, you were fired for a safety violation. That can be a real problem. Household goods, also, you lose tons of money every check. So you lose money every single check. Best bet, no household goods miles and no driver facing camera, although that's harder and harder to find. So it's a toss-up. As long as they don't bother you about the camera, which some companies seem to have backed off now about, it's not as bad as it was. Maverick announced a race for 2021. They're another one with cameras coming in the trucks. Schneider has stupid cracks on their landing gear. Roger Moore, stupid cracks on their landing gear. When I went to USA Truck in 06, they were part of Driver Solutions, Cash King Trucking. Really, they must not advertise that. Because they only advertise PAM. Must be their main customer. Northern California, where I live, a lot of the power-only Amazon trucks are the same ones that were pulling containers 2 years ago. Yeah, they were the same ones that were pulling containers 20 years ago. Well, FLD, wow, nice truck. But Schneider is a household goods miles, so subtract 5 cents per mile from what another company pays for the same miles. Misty, exactly. Schneider is one of the last holdouts on this, which I just still don't understand, on these household goods miles. So they gave you a raise. They're still lower than other places by at least 5 cents a mile because they're still on this antiquated household goods miles. I don't even like mileage that much anyway, much less household goods. Can we get to practical miles, Schneider? Can we drag this place into the 2000s for at least? I heard Cryptoverse. Great information. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Be back in a minute. Got to blow my trailer out at Walmart DC parking lot. Cash King. Fire up the battery-powered leaf blower. They deserve it for charging you $700 to unload the trailer. Drummer to driver, Cash is King, my former company, had both short miles and driver-facing camera. No contract. Well, see, if you can get your license on a no contract, then it doesn't matter if they have household goods because as soon as you don't like something there, you can leave. That's the idea of that I'm saying, to go to a place and have the state pay for your truck school. Then you don't have a contract with anybody. You can go pick a better company. Now here we have a person here who's stuck at PAM in a 100-person line waiting for a trainer and has a contract that they have to fulfill. That's a problem. In the same situation, going to truck school in Arkansas, if they pay for it, and getting the state to pay for it, you could then be out with that license. You can go work wherever you want without having to pay somebody $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, whatever they want there. Cranks. Schneider puts the cranks on the other side. Nice. That makes you walk around the trailer. I refuse to work for a company with cameras. Didn't Canada make drive cams illegal? Sallyport, USA. They did. You cannot view the driver from the driver camera in Canada. But here, hey, it's freedom here. America said, hey, at work, you can watch people work. And I agree with that part of it. I just don't like the camera, and I don't think they should do it. But I think that the law, right, it shouldn't be not the law. I like Cash is King idea of hourly pay. I can get behind that. I love that. Alexander, $10 an hour, 168 hours, $16.80 a week. You got it. And you're paid. And it would seem like you're getting paid for all your time. It's probably what most people make anyway on the road. Columbia, George. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Looking forward to another year of Trucking Answers. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to another year of doing it. So it's going to be great. I hope. Anyway. I like the Little Caesars pizza. Pizza, where you get 2 for $5. I bet the 85-mile-an-hour Amazon drivers toss the most bombs. Yeah. I don't think you can make a lot of money even in a Columbia going 85 miles an hour. It was a good smaller company, drummer to driver, now at GP Transco for the win. Exactly. Here's the thing about PAM and all these other places. If you're somewhere and you have a contract, live out the contract. You did agree to it. And then you can always find a great place to go to work. There's tons of good places to go to work. And it's just the starting. And this is where we lose all the drivers that would otherwise be great drivers. You know, you can go on to a great career in driving, head into 6 figures if you want to do that of driving. You can. You just got to get through that first part. And it shouldn't be like that. It's almost like a fraternity, like you're being hazed, to get into it. It's just not right. But unfortunately, that's how it does work. Drummer to driver, they like that plug, yes. I used your questions on a website for trucking companies, and the recruiter got upset with me. Dynamic dueling duo. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If they get upset with answering a few questions, what's the problem? You should say, well, why don't you want to answer my questions? See, they don't expect people to ask questions. They just expect you to, apply and just come and work for us and shut up. And a place like that, they have no business having people. They're probably a company, without even knowing who it is, who complains that they can't get drivers. Just put reflective tape over the cracks. Just, hey, reflective tape that whole thing. Somebody I just saw, too, just got a ticket for having reflective tape out. Look, you can't be doing that. That reflective tape on the back, they've got to have, that whole back's got to be all reflective. So carry a roll of reflective tape and tape that trailer up if necessary, because you can get a ticket for that, and that goes points on your license, on your CSA score. Chef Matt, you're driving a large car when the passing lane is what you're in for mountain passes. Yeah, right. When you're a Clapton flatbed running 600 horsepower, exactly. GP Transco, if a recruiter gets upset with you when you call, that's a sign. I mean, aren't they there to answer questions? Or are they just there, just what's your email so I could send you an application? If that's all they are, a company could just have an automated site where you just click on it. It says no recruiters. You must apply here. I mean, that's the problem I had with Stevens. They wouldn't even talk to me. They're like, well, until you've applied, we can't talk to you. We're not going to answer any questions. I'm like, well, I don't want to apply until I find out about the company. Well, we're not going to answer questions until you apply. Crazy. I feel like the first year for drivers is overpromised and underdelivered, Austin, and that's too bad. And so people leave, right? You're going to make all this money, and then you end up not making like $1,800 a week your first year, and people leave. And a lot of it, they leave rightly so. If they're making $400 a week, what is somebody supposed to do? You can't live on the road making $400 a week. That's just wiener money for the week, basically. I mean, that's nothing. On the road, I mean, that's crazy. So people have to leave. They have no choice. Recruiters are just there for a paycheck. I spoke to several this month. Sony, what are they telling you? Since you're there at PAM, what are they telling you? Will someplace take you? I mean, look, if a place will take you over this 100-person list, it'd be worth going and see what PAM does about it. Great Plains Transport was the same way. Wouldn't answer anything to you apply. That isn't right. Answer questions. It's not like I have 700 questions. I just have a few questions that matter to me. Whatever it is that matters to your life, they should answer those questions. How often am I home? That kind of stuff, GP Transco, interesting. Most of the drivers that our recruiters call applied before getting the call. We usually made the call after they applied. See, I would never apply. I would never fully apply for a place until I knew all the details about it. No way. Because I don't know, I'm not going to take all my time up. It's a waste of my time and really their time to fill out an application and all that until I find all the info out. I want the deets, right? As that kid, right? Tell that kid, deets. Remember the truck show 2 years ago? No recruiter would answer your questions. Well, Bill, I know. Why are people not answering, especially at a truck show? Why am I getting companies that won't answer my questions? And there won't be a truck show in March because Matt's delayed it. Matt's has delayed it right now to September and maybe 2022. So we'll see in February when the next truck show is. We're going to go to a truck show eventually and ask some more questions. Who can recommend the DAC report site? That's hireright.com. Just go right on there, hireright.com. You can get a free copy of your DAC report right there. And I think right that page it has, get a free copy of my DAC report. Click it and you can get it. The real golden trucks are those with the Cali cam. They smoke all the time. What's a Cali cam? Another reason, GP Transco, not to put your recruiters on a commission-based pay structure. Right. That's why I like Best Buy. They're not on commission, right? People don't like car salesmen. Why? They're on commission. So they're likely to possibly not give you the correct information. I miss the good old days of Freedom and Crab Company of the Week, Day Cab, Gear Jammer. There'll be more trucking companies coming up this year. They should answer questions. I mean, people, especially new people, are going to change their whole lifestyle to go live in a truck. Can the recruiters answer a few questions? How long am I gone? Well, all this kind of stuff. That's important. Some people would like to know that stuff. And just be honest. We're out 10 weeks and you get 3 days off. Fine. Just be honest about it. At least the Tommy Cash, thank you very much. At least the bombs are getting lighter in color. Jeff Bezos giving the drivers an extra minute to drink some water. Bless his tiny heart. Yeah, we can always tell how hard they're running by the color of the bombs. You don't want those dark ones out there. Yikes. Drivers need to get some liquid in you. Oh, let's see. Drummer to driver. My GP transfer. My career is great and very informative before I applied. Good. See, I mean, they just answer a few questions. I left CRST, no problem finding work 5 years ago. Steven, did you have a contract? Because CRST sued Swift over this very kind of thing if you were in a contract with CRST. They sued Swift saying you can't take our drivers that have a contract, and they won in court. Swift had to pay them millions of dollars over it. So they're the most aggressive one that I've seen. And that lawsuit just came up last year. Swift lost that suit. TJ Jones in the Bull of the Woods. Greetings from foggy snow on the ground in Prosser, Washington at 35. It's warmer than here. It's only 28 here, last I looked. Drummer to driver. He's still an Oklahoma guy. Just kidding. Okay, yeah. I left DC and drove 66 miles. Kenneth. Just as I was about to park, I thought, darn, I just lost another lock. I left it on the DOT low, and behold, it was on the rear of the trailer. Wow. That company, you should write to whoever makes that trailer and say you guys have the smoothest riding trailers in the world, because a lot of companies will charge you for that lock. We only started our field bonus program less than a year ago. We're still adjusting it and adding things to it at GP Transco. UP Trucker Bob. Sounds like a dealership that would not let me test drive a truck unless I submitted a credit application. Forget that. Tell them, why would I submit a credit application if I don't know if I like it? Oh, I agree. I don't even have the salesman go with me. I bought a lot of cars at Mike Razor Ford here in Lafayette, and they don't give me any grief at all. We can go drive whatever, because I'm gone a long time on a test drive anyway, but I don't even take the salesman with me. Forget that. I want to drive this thing. Answer questions truthfully, Adco. Yeah, look, just answer the question, and I do recommend people call back. Get a different recruiter and ask the same questions. See if you get the same answers. Chef Matt, subscribe to my channel, strap in and find out what a California cam is this spring. All right, well, we will. I'll find out. Norman Bates, how's it going there anyways? Hospitality's down right now. I heard it's a dead industry. No offense to GP, but with so many companies promising heaven and delivering hell, it's hard to trust anyone in this industry. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Drivers get jaded about it because you get lied to. And so a decent company, GP Transco, and any decent company has to try to overcome that. And I don't know how you do that part of it. You can't say, well, we're being honest when, the last 10 places people have worked have lied to them. I plan on taking my grandfather to Matt's in 2020 and 2021. I hope he's still able to come with me whenever they have to do it. You did remind me to cancel my hotel room. Yeah, if you had a room down there, cancel it. And I hope he can come. And if he needs a wheelchair or whatever, push him around in there. So I hope to meet him there, because I'll be at the next one. The soonest it will be right now is September of 2021. Norman Bates, of course, we completely understand. What you said is right, GP Transco, and it makes much harder for good trucking companies to explain things and not sound like they're making things up, right? We think, oh, well, the last 10 places lied to me, so why are you telling the truth? It's harder for you to get people because of these other companies. These few places which recruit so many of the drivers, probably 10 or 15 trucking companies, bring the whole industry down because they have such a large share of the industry. It's super horrible. I don't know how many people quit out of the industry that would otherwise stay if we just closed the top 10 trucking companies in the United States. Chef Matt, if you see Zirkle Truck 31, tell Mr. Mazie hi. He's a driver and a mechanic. Zirkle. Texas Trader, unless it is in writing, the recruiter answers are arbitrary. Plenty of home time. Yeah, don't ever accept plenty of home time. It's not an acceptable thing. What is your home time policy? Out how many days and off how many days? What is the policy? You'll get home when you need to get home. That's not a policy. The best companies that are out there to work for are those who have somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 trucks or less. Kenneth, it depends. It depends on what you're looking for. Like some of these mail carriers, which are home every day and, pay $30+ an hour, they have a lot of trucks. So I don't know if that would be a bad place or not to work. It just depends. Alexander, I'm changing my name to Leatherface so Norman and I can do a duo and get famous. Call ourselves the Singing Serial Killers. That's pretty good. That'd make a good channel. Drummer to driver. Norman Bates, I've been with GP since September, and everything they said was truthful so far, and I've been making great money in miles. Yeah, but see, you don't know that when you call them, and that's the thing. Drivers, because we're lied to so often, then we hear a place that says, okay, this is what we do, and you're like, oh, that's probably not true. Wonder how many people, I guess there'd be no way to know how many people you lose because they just don't believe it and go off somewhere else. But because they don't come there, you don't know if you lost them because of that. So probably some people. You can blame that on these other large companies that lie to everybody. There's some large companies that are good. Mom and pop shops are the best, though, in my opinion, Austin. It depends, too, on benefits. Some smaller places, like really small, where you get into the single digits of truck, they don't have any benefits. You can't get insurance, or it's very expensive. You don't get, all the other benefits that you get with a larger company. That's part of what I like at a larger place. I get a lot of benefits. Like the other week, I got paid out for my vacation. I didn't use it all this year because I just work a lot. And so they send a check for your unused vacation days. So In 1 week, you get a check that's 3 weeks. So stuff like that. And that wouldn't happen at a smaller place. You're lucky to get vacation at all. Some of these things, some kind of things like that matter. GP Transco, another problem is when a driver leaves a good company because she didn't like it and says this place is like the rest. It makes other drivers not apply to a company that's actually good. Yeah. And part of it, people have a different experience. People come to a place and they all have a different experience there. That's part of the other problem. One person says this place is horrible, and then other people are working there and say, we love it. I have that same problem. I've been here for years, but we get people that come in, and 3 weeks later they quit. They go, this stinks, because it wasn't right for them. They go, well, how you been here for years? It stinks. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. It works for me. It works for me for what I want. That's why you can't just apply to every place that's putting out an ad. That's why I want people to call them and find out, are they going to do what you want? So that it's a good fit for everybody. The company doesn't want you to leave in 3 weeks either. I mean, they put a lot of time into that, and then you leave. They got to rehire somebody. It would work out better for everybody. Interland, Kenneth Snyder, Interland and my character are a good fit. I don't plan to go anywhere anytime soon. Right, so it works for you. Other people might not like it. Steel Horse, 100,000, not interested in leaving. You get treated pretty well, and that place is a great place. And so, but you don't have much turnover because of that. At 100,000, where are you going to go? Although I always say it isn't the money. Almost everybody here makes more money than I do. It's certainly not the money. It's how are you treated, and do they fit into whatever kind of lifestyle you're trying to get. My company used to pay for unused time, but not anymore. Well, Bill, then I guess everybody would take it. I would actually pay people 125% of their vacation if they didn't take it. Because it's much harder to replace you than just have you work and just pay it out. It'd be a lot easier for the company. I think it would save the company money than having you sit at home and have somebody else do your job. You got to pay 2 people. I'd pay you extra for unused vacation. That's how I would do it, to encourage you not to use it. But they don't. But at least they still pay it out, which they've always done. In Texas, you can, Texas Trader, you can a Texas Public Education grant for CDL training in 2021. Since I'm poor in 2020, I qualify now. Forget the contracts. Right. That's the way to go in every state. Have them grant it, get a grant, go to truck school. Then, and while you're in truck school, start calling trucking companies and figure out what you want to do from there. Roger Moore, I worked for a 14 truck company that was terrible. They didn't have enough work to keep everyone running. That's the other side of a place that's so small. They can't get contracted freight. They're always in the spot market and everything, and they can't keep you moving. Norman Bates, business is dead these days. COVID is putting the hotels out of business. Yeah, they're getting to them before the hotel can. Well, Bill doesn't like where he works, although he secretly does like where he works. When I saw you, you were logoed head to toe from with your company's logoed things. The pen, gloves, your glasses had their logo on it. That was something. And you don't even wear glasses. Well, GP Transco, we will take you away from there as soon as the spotter position opens up. Dope Law, what is a good base pay to be paid an hour as a 3-year veteran? 20 an hour or higher? What would you expect? Well, I would expect more than $20 an hour, certainly. I mean, you can get $20 an hour starting out. A part of it depends where you live, too. Somebody wrote to me from San Francisco, and their rent was like $3,200, and they were wondering what they should do. I told them to move. I told them, move the heck out of there. But yeah, part of it depends on where you live, right? Because 20 is different in different places. A lot of companies lie, but also work both ways. Drivers get mad, quit, and blame the company, saying they can't get miles when they don't want to run. Drummer to driver, yeah, and I agree. Companies talk about all this forced dispatch, but they don't really enforce it. I mean, it'd be better off if they enforced it, but they don't. And so then a driver sits, and then they don't get any miles, and then they quit. That's true. How many times does a driver quit for a reason that's their own doing? That's the problem. Then they go on a rant, and now they broadcast it to everybody when it's not actually the correct what really happened. My company has a schedule 5 on, 5 off. I might take it. Donkey bite. Yeah, there are a number of places out there doing 7 on, 7 off, 4 on, 4 off. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. There are places doing it. And if you want some more off time, that's a good way to get it. While Bill's waiting, me and my dad went to Matt's in 93, George Wilson. That's great. We're both driving at Broderick Teaming Company at the time. Yeah, why don't you come to the next one if you're in the area? It'll be in Louisville, hopefully, the end of this year. Austin, we have to encourage new folks to do their research too, or else they'll get prime ink and lease purchased straight to poverty. Exactly. I still haven't figured out how I get to people before they start driving. I only get to people after they're already driving. And then I unfortunately get a letter, Mark, I've been making $300 a week. Now what do? I just found you, that kind of thing, because they're not looking. They don't think to look, because the recruiters make it sound, everything is all great. They bring balloons in, and they have a clown at truck school they'll bring in, that kind of thing, and a juggler, all that, and then you don't realize. I was logoed up hoping for a sniper tag. It was pretty impressive day. That sounds pretty good. Would there still be good money in it for you? Maybe. Chef Matt, Spokane Ag Expo 2021 is a go. Be there and meet me February 1st to 5th in Spokane. I could afford 2 mortgages for $3,200 a month. Roger Moore, I was stunned that rent is $3,200 a month. I don't know how anybody lives there. He's like, I got to be gone all the time, and my wife works full time too. And I'm like, there's no point to that. If you're not making $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month, there's no point in it, because you're never going to get ahead paying 50% of your income in rent. So really, moving is a great solution. Who wants to work like that just to pay the rent? The word out there is 34-hour reset March 16th. Plan on it and pass it along. It's only the first time. Plan is doing the same thing every 8 days. Kenneth Snyder. All right. Well, so many people you get. This pace is so slow I could have run a half marathon. Question is, could you run a half marathon? Me? No. These places are so aggravating. Especially at Delhi. Why are they not loading you? It's noontime. GP Transco, did you mean 5 weeks out in 5 days? Oh, probably 5 and 5 days, hopefully. Have you heard of any truck drivers getting infected with COVID by showering at truck stops? No. No. Apparently drivers have gotten it. This cleaning thing, they've talked about this too. I'm sure you saw this now. All the cleaning that everybody's been doing, not necessary. Airborne. They're talking about it being airborne. So unless you're sharing your shower, as team drivers do or whatever, there's not a problem that way. I haven't heard of any kind of problems that way. But walking around the truck stop, yeah, that's you're more likely to get it walking to the shower than in the shower. How much candle power bar can I get with the $600 stimulus? Oh my gosh, all these Amazon trucks are going to be loaded up with these light bars, aren't they? You can get several of them for that. Daycab Gear Jimmer, the mime is really persuasive. That is impressive. That mime is locked in a truck at the truck school, so that's something. Texas Trader, break in 2 hours. That wouldn't be bad. Look, if I could break 2 hours in a half marathon, I'd be super happy about that, believe me. So sick of disrespectful guards and office staff. They seem to forget who makes the country work, Stephen. Well, we all work together, right, as a big team, hopefully. But yeah, look, they probably have been disrespected by the last 10 people that come in there, though, right? It's a two-way street. And the drivers, no pen. Can I have a pen? Do you have a pen? Yes, I was contract. They put it on my credit, but I'm going to see if I can get it dropped with this lawsuit you talked about. Okay, so you did have a contract. You might. Sometimes that's part of these settlements. It was for Sierra England. They had to drop a bunch of that stuff off of there. So we'll see on this $12.5 million that they're going to settle with here. Light bars are illegal. They're meant for off-road only. That doesn't seem to stop people with centuries from doing that. 5 days on, 5 off, still be $1,000 a week average over 2 weeks. That's pretty good. Roger Moore could not run a half marathon at someone else's dreams. I would need a car for that. I could maybe bike it on an electric bike. Trucker Hershey, last week, pre-trip, how many drivers check their wipers every day? Only when they get a new truck. Right. Not often. Not often. Just had them changed, so on this truck, on its last service. So I'm ready for the winter. I can't believe airplanes are not virus incubators. I think they are. Personally, I think they are. But people don't realize when they get sick, it's days, sometimes 4 days, 6, 8 days later. You don't realize exactly what day you might have got it. So there's no way to pinpoint how you get sick, really. Shouldn't a trucker have multiple streams of income like investing, Bitcoin, or a side hustle? Dope law? Everybody should. You should never depend on a paycheck to support you. That's everybody in the world, because the paycheck can vanish. Look at COVID. How many people's paychecks vanish too, just like the magicians do in the truck school when they're at truck school trying to convince you to go to these companies. Poof, gone. So, yeah, never count on your paycheck to be there the next day. Always have a next idea and be getting 10 checks a month. We're hauling precast tiers from J.W. Peters, Burlington, Wisconsin, back to the new United Center. Oh, really? So you had a hand in building the United Center? That's pretty cool. We've been doing masks for 6 months now. If it worked, we would be virus-free. ADCO. Well, I will say not everybody wears them, as you know. You see people walking around. Meyer has somebody at the door now enforcing it. I just noticed that yesterday. There was an enforcement officer at the door to enforce it in there. Roger Moore, Bush Icon are the best wipers. I don't know what they put on here. I just say, hey, put some wipers on here. So, and the Escape gets them at Ford because they're huge. And from what I've read, people get these off-brand ones. They don't work right. They make the wipers not understand each other. The computer has to run the wipers. And so I just get them at Ford. When you pump fuel, a bunch of hands have touched it before you. COVID Petri dish. I heard Cryptoverse. Who pumps fuel without a glove on? I will say that. Nothing outside the truck gets touched without gloves. Nothing in the truck gets touched with gloves. Kenneth Snyder, I'm a night driver and they're not good on the eyes. Correct. Not sure I get sick just thinking about my company. Wild Bill. Oh, come on now. After the bombing in Nashville knocked out internet, Walmart went cash only. I was thinking, wow, suddenly there's no coin shortage. How does that work? Yeah, you don't hear about the coin shortage. And did anybody have any money? Remember, the building in Rochester burned down too. That building that made the ballots? Interesting. Pretty sure when I get caught COVID, it was from the airports or planes. There's a possibility planes. You're all stuck in this little tube for all this time. Makes me want to get a torch and blast them nice. COVID is heavier in air, so it stays on the ground. Besides, it has a hard time getting past those whack-nut security guards where the zipper on their pants is clinging together for life. You always, and this is the airport too, right? You got to, at the airport, the pants are just, why do people not buy pants that fit them? Whenever I drop the wife out there, I always see these people at the line, the security guards, yikes. Ma'am, I'm like, ma'am, those are, what are those, a 4? I mean, look, you want to look good? Okay, I get it, but holy mackerel. The zipper's like, oh. I see that every year when I go over there. Thought we were talking about being out 5 weeks and home 5 weeks, which seemed odd. GP Transco. That'd be an interesting schedule, wouldn't it? You get a lot of time off that way. Pinpointing when you got sick is the same as pinpointing which snowflake in the blizzard caved your roof in. Chef Matt. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Okay, here's where, because you don't know where. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. That's why when you go outside and cough even, everybody looks at you. Oh, like, Night of the Living Dead. Explain to your family that your job is mask inspector at Meyer Wild Belt. Look, there was somebody, they had a table there and masks. And that they had a sign, right? So they're inspecting to make sure when you come in, face coverings, as it's called at Meyer, you had to have a face covering on. And if you didn't have one, they were going to give you. I'm surprised it took them this long to do it. But they would give you one. And the other door was closed. So everybody had to go in the food side of Meyer, which is the food door, which I go in anyway on Sunday. But it's just the idea. Wonder what that pays? $12. At least 12. Meyer starts at 12. So that person's getting at least $12 an hour, which is not terrible. GP Transco, do you have satellite TV in the trucks? That's a good question. Mario. Dot Foods is a great company. Glad you recommended them. I'm glad that it's working out good for you. I think they're doing great out there. I love the lights on full blast parked in the trucks in the truck stop. Parked for the night, but blinding everyone who walks or drives by. Yeah, why do we not turn our lights off? What is going on? Is there no way to notice that when you're in the truck? Cassius King Trucking is back. Been standing in line at Crystals for 5 minutes and no one here to take the order. They're all off on COVID. Where are you at Crystals anyway? Where is there Crystals? Down south, right? Also sick of companies using inclusive terms like we and us. Are we almost done unloading? Us is almost finished, they go. Roger Penske. Air in commercial jetliner, the closest thing to a clean room. It's bled from the engine turbine. Bacteria and viruses cannot withstand the heat and pressure generated by these compressors. So you're saying that we should all stay in an airplane, or that if you were in an airplane, it would be safer than just basically anywhere else, is what you're saying. How long can it take? Why does it take so long to cook a super thin burger? You have the same problem at White Castle, but you get in there behind somebody in front of you who ordered 2 super sacks or whatever. I mean, it's like going to the drive-thru at Subway. Just don't do it. Trucker Hirsch, you have time to watch TV. Well, on your 34-hour break, maybe you can get some TV in, right? Christina, please tell me if a truck driving school can refuse to take a person into their school. I would say so. I mean, it's a business. So they should be able to refuse service to anyone. Now, they probably can't refuse it, even though I'm not a lawyer, like, no women or that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't see why they couldn't refuse to take someone into a truck school. Why would they, though, if you're paying, right? Oh, is there any plans at GP Transco for bulk hauling or to move to anything but dry vans? Cashier's King Trucking. I feel like the employers are moving in slow motion. Well, isn't that all these places? Parking lot lights are the best. Turn them off. When someone has their lights on, they'll have to go and let them know what their lights are on. You should knock on the door because they might have forgotten and say, hey, your lights are on. When did the stimulus checks come? Didn't they say like a week? After it's approved, they could be going to the first people within a week if they have your direct deposit information. So it depends how you got the last check, which I put it on a card. I got one of these cards to put it on. So they should have that. It should go right on there. Yeah. Furthermore, the air supply is filtered through a HEPA filter and sent through an ultraviolet sanitizer. On a plane? Why does it stink in there then? Is that just the general funk of the general public? Bringing their Burger King and unwashed pits in there? Texas trainer. It doesn't help when Ralph sitting next to you and coach coughs all over everyone. Yeah, what about if someone is sick in the plane near you? That kind of thing. Leave your lights on for safe for female drivers, squirrel. And that's interesting. I don't think that's a good reason, though. Roy, that's nanotechnology. Slow. Oh, because they're... What about all these 26-year-olds? Maybe they could come and work at Crystal's and get this stuff done. GP Transco doesn't have satellite TV in the trucks, but I think they will let you add it. So you can put your own satellite. Oh, can you get one of those ones on the road that follows the satellite around when you're driving and it could tape shows during the day? It's going to take longer than a week to get checks, I guess 14 to 21 days. That's what they suggested. Within a week of it being approved, that they could get the money out to people that had direct deposit. How long that will actually take, I don't know. Their shrink ray is down nice. Roy Rodriguez coming to a truck stop near you. Yeah, all right. Which one? Trucker Hershey, another winter storm starts Wednesday. Well, we're going to be 52 degrees here in Lafayette on Wednesday. Northeast to Kansas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Yeah, it's going to go above us. Summer is 20 inches. Wednesday to Saturday, Happy New Year. Time to park it for that time. Maybe that's when you should strike during a snowstorm. Do you remember where to go to change your direct deposit information? No, somewhere on the IRS site. But I don't know where to do it. I just inputted it because they don't have it. So that one time, and I bought just a prepaid card to put it on. That's how I did it because I never have given them my information. You'd be safer being confined in an airplane, Roger Penske. The air does about 10 turns per hour. Well, that is a good question, though. What about somebody that is next to you or in front of you or whatever that's possibly sick already? Like that person that died in that plane, that was just, a week ago? He had it and died in the plane, and somebody was giving him CPR. So, now, of course, if you're giving somebody CPR, but still, the person died on the plane. Everyone have a happy and safe and profitable New Year. You did an excellent show, Mark. Catch you on the 4th. All right, thank you, George Wilson, for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll see you at the truck show, too, I hope. The IRS system is what's called their dead cycle for 2020 tax updates to the system. Nice. Their dead cycle. I love that. It's like this is when we're passing out money to dead people. Letting the stimulus check go straight to Bitcoin. Could you connect it to a Bitcoin? Probably. Let it ride. All right. What's Bitcoin today anyway? How much is that up to? Any trucking companies out there that allow these special needs pets like turkeys, geese, and lions in your truck? An aviator truck? Or probably. Most of them will let you, bring some kind of dog or cat. At least some of them will. A good one would. What are some good companies that you would consider? Dopla. Well, they're right there on the thumbnail, right? Those companies I'd certainly consider for over the road, for a road company. It's got to pay good and treat you well, really. I want to be treated better than the pay because a lot of places pay, but not a lot of places treat you well. That's the thing. Roger Penske, other people are stinky and filthy and sometimes die or give birth on a plane. And what about that? Who wants to see that? I mean, but that one guy died on the plane, and people stink the plane up. Hell, John, say what's happening. UP Trucker Bob. Mark, I'm Air Gunner Bob. Oh, you changed. All right. This is my new channel just for trucking videos. Nice. Glad to be here today. Well, thank you for being here. 30-minute break right now. Should be signing papers for my truck this week. That's awesome. But the dealer rented it out for 2 weeks. Really? How does that work? And thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. So nice. Yeah, but sorry, I rented your truck out. I'm sure they won't damage it in any way. I'd be doing an inspection when it gets back. Ray Rodriguez, I went to the VA doc, says it doesn't feel like sanding your eye. I had to explain to him it was nanotechnology and I don't wear prescription for nothing. Nice. Taco Tuesday still horse. Yes, they can be taco any day, right? What they need is a taco roller wiener. I have an elephant in my truck. A GP Transco doesn't have an issue with it. It's however a small stuffed elephant. Nice. We did have this question of exotic pets, and GP Transco said no to that. So no pets like that could injure or kill the mechanics, that kind of thing. So pretty much just basically your domesticated dog. Bitcoin's over 27,000 today. Wow, that would have been a good buy a couple of years ago. Chef Matt, grab your bark buddy or meow buddy and jump on board the IHA Express. Nice. Elephants are totally fine at GP Transco. It's in the driver manual. Always check your manual for proper rules. Pets ride for free as long as they don't damage the truck, which is totally legit. Roy Rodriguez, you like me? I like having you here. Bitcoin will be zero when the power goes out. It is tough to transfer Bitcoins with no power. Cash King Trucking just checked your Bitcoin account. How's that doing over there? Doing pretty good? As long as they're not very exotic and or dangerous. I think, and that's true of a lot of places. They don't want an animal that can hurt a mechanic or whatever when it's in theirs or eat the truck. So I think that's probably standard across the industry. I don't see too many places allowing dogs and cats. A lot of them are dogs, but they won't allow a cat for some reason. Puts a whole new meaning to elephant in the room. Yikes. Aviator Trucker, the stimulus checks will arrive at the same speed as a Western Express paycheck. Western Express, do they not pay on time too? So not only is the check small, but they also don't pay on time. And apparently what I found out here is if you're under contract, you can go work somewhere else. I would certainly try it. Look, rather than wait in a 100-person line at PAM, I've been thinking about that. I'd certainly go try to work somewhere else because but make sure when you call them that they're going to have a trainer ready. Or you're going to apply somewhere else instead of, they go, all right, it'll be 3 weeks here or two. Get a place that has a trainer. Tell them you need to work, you're ready to work, and you want to work, but they just can't get you in. That kind of thing. So I couldn't bring my pet Sydney funnel web spider to GP Transco Alexander. How big would that thing be? They probably didn't notice that. And his name is Sydney. When did truckers get groupies? I am liking it. I have no idea. Roy Rodriguez, you let me know. Kenneth Snyder, I'm the only elephant in the room if it weren't around my neck. 18K, nice. Al Johns, that's not great. So with all this think ahead technology the truck is doing with lane changes, right? And International just had a thing about that as an aside. Cruise braking, now refer to my steering device as the sixth wheel. Look, International just came out and said that they have advanced now. The truck will stop and go in traffic. So Cruise will work in traffic. It will lane keep for you better now. It will brake better, and it has stationary object detection. So if you're coming up on something that is stopped, it will detect that and stop the truck as well. That's in New International's new technology. I just read that today. Alexander, GP Transco, does he or she move around the truck freely? Or is there some kind of spider house? Yeah, well, I guess they would build a funnel somewhere, right? What's the money game Schneider plays with the sleep study? The whole safety monitor sleep study scam, ELD Trucker. Well, they own, or at least partially own, I think, the sleep study deal. And the doctor and all, they're in on selling the stuff. And that's why they want you to get a sleep study there. Farva, thank you for that. There we go with that. It was all over at the Loves. I went to get a roller Roy Weiner, and it was all bent. Must be suffering from a problem. Had a medical problem. Typically catching a cold from a flight is due to dryness of the air. Roger Penske. The pressure is usually set to 8,000 feet above sea level. It's not actually as a purpose of filtering out dust and germs. Well, I'm just saying you could potentially fly with someone next to you that is sick, that although you have to fill that stupid form out, they may not be truthful on the form. And so the person could be sick next to you, and I think that'd be a problem because you're sitting right there. even, if they put the middle seat block, they're still right there. And that's a problem. The spider's housed here, so it's venomous. It could kill a human in half an hour. Alexander, why does it? That'd be a slow death, half an hour. That's a tricky one. We'd need to check with the head of safety. GP Transco. If I was the head of safety, I'd be like, we probably don't want animals that could kill you in a half an hour that we then can't find in the truck because they'd have to burn the truck down. Stephen, I've seen something out about AT&T had a contract to do forensic analysis of voting machines. Yes, that's correct. And so, of course, the building got bombed with an ineffective bomb, the same kind of bomb that was used in Oklahoma City. And, and so the same day, a building in Rochester, New York burned to the ground. And they had some kind of something to do with the ballots that they were also doing, or something with the voting machines as well. And that building burned to the ground too. Isn't that curious? Sure, it's a coincidence, though. Speaking of that, a drummer to driver, there'll be no co-pilot with me when I leave back out tomorrow, drummer to driver. That's pretty awesome. Who will that be? Rest area closed. 2006 Jeep TJ in the house. Hello, Mark. All right. Rocking the classic Jeep. Is that when it had square headlights? Dope Law. Thank you, Mark, for all your hard work. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Aviator Trucker. So do training trucks have training wheels? No, they have 3 beds. They have 3 beds. Yeah, I will say maybe England could get you in faster because at least they got all these beds. Only she's a skag, put her slip seat, and forget it. We don't know if that's hopefully an insect. Roger Penske, speaking of Chicago food, I'm at Dazzo's Dig House in Glendale having a beef and sausage sandwich. What the heck? Beef and sausage. All right. Remember, Zell's is in the area too. Rest area closed. Round, it's good to see you here. Aviator Truck, I want a new international. That way I could sit everything and go to sleep and wake up when I get to my destinations. Look, it's talking about it, can't certainly drive itself, but it does a lot more advanced things, kind of like a car. I was thinking that. I go, I have all that in my car. So I'm curious why it hasn't come to trucks yet. Oh, right, Western Star. I wrote this down too. West of the 4900s in Western Star, from the vocational all the way up, they have LED headlights that are heated. Have I not talked about this? It was in their ad. Heated headlights. They have lines in the front that heat, kind of like a rear windshield defroster. And the headlights are heated because they're LED. There's no heat to them. They heat the headlight so you can see. Bingo. See why I like Western Stars? That sounds good. I just need to be sure to stop by our office and sign the pet rider paperwork. No fees or anything. Always sign up for everything. The real Bill Davis. How good is GP Transco? Well, I'll say it's good. I don't work there, but there are plenty of drivers on here right now that do, that like it. So, and that says something about a company when a driver would say that. You're from Chicago. You know the sausage. Yeah, I'm from Hammond. We'll give that close enough. Of course. I see what you're saying now. I've never heard of that restaurant, though. When flying international, I always check yes for the question, did you visit a farm? Cash is king. They always have these stupid questions now that you have to fill out everywhere. Have you been around 50 people in the last 10 days? Have you traveled internationally? Have you done all this stuff? I'm like, no. But everybody's going to say no to that. Nobody's going to agree to any of that. That's the problem. The real Bill Davis, thanks. All right. Austin, Western Stars are expensive, but worth the money. They're so quiet. I mean, you could just tell the difference in quietness when you shut the doors on something like that rather than a regular Freightliner. And now we have the LED lights that are heated, all this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff adds up to a better driving experience. The wipers, I didn't see that the wipers are heated. They should be. There's no reason that they shouldn't be. I wish they were heated. I will tell you, I get these kind of things every once in a while. I got an offer from a guy, which I just get randomly. He said, look, I have these heated wipers, some company. I'll send you 2 of them if you'll talk about them, but try them out and talk about them. So I go ask the company, can I put them on the truck? No. Why do companies do this? I'm like, I'm getting 2, they're $180 a piece or something like that. And they hook up to the battery. And I said, look, we'll have the mechanic hook them up so that, because they know I probably would burn the truck down. I'm like, let's have the mechanic hook them. Nope, can't do it. I'm like, oh, brilliant. Just brilliant. So can't get them. GP Transco claims to be the top 3 paint companies, so I've heard. Actually makes more. Yeah, some do, some don't. Trucks still have drum brakes, Cash King Trucking. Yeah, some do, right? Ours all do. We haven't changed over to discs yet, and I haven't seen any of the new trucks have discs or anything. So, yeah. Trucker, she never been to New Mexico. Drove at night, so delivery, so didn't see much of it. Just drove to pick up. Whole lot of nothing, basically. Right, there's nothing there. The Thing, right? Isn't that out there? Or was that Arizona? Didn't realize there was pet paperwork. Should I call and have someone send it to me? Drummer to driver. Look, every company has paperwork for everything. Truck driver salary claims we're the third highest paying carrier. I don't know how they figured that out. As well as smart trucking. It means that our average annual salary is the third highest in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, that's really hard to tell, though, isn't it? I'm like, someplace the highest paying is because their drivers make more or they work more. It's tough to say. They're a very high paying company, let's put it that. But I don't even care about that as much, although at some point you have to leave. It's that you get treated better. Everybody that writes to me from there honestly says, look, I get treated way better here. I should have come here a long time ago. I get a lot of those too because I'm getting treated so much better. And I think that's almost more important than anything because you're not going to leave. Your safety manager will be able to help you with that paperwork. Well, Bill, aliens are in New Mexico. Isn't that? Now, see, that's Nevada. The real Bill Davis GP has been great to me so far, drummer to driver, right? And these are the kind of things that I'll get. Just randomly from people. Hey, you know, when you mentioned I worked over there and now I'm being treated so much better, so that's great. Ron and Roy 81, I'm starting orientation at ATS in January. All right, let me know how that goes. I don't have too many people that go over there, although I like their floating pay system so that you never make less and you can make more. I kind of like that. Send you the heated wipers. I haven't gotten any for the new truck, Cash King Trucking. Yeah, I'll send you the company and see what you can do with it. I have a pet rock. I guess some of the trucks out there even have bed, but probably. I would check. A truck that you're getting that's used, I'd certainly do a check, which I always do anyway, getting a motel room or whatever. Kenneth Snyder likes Smart Trucking. There is a great channel, believe me. Trucker Hershey, yeah, watch for aliens. Be careful out there. Grim Reaper, I'm retired almost 3 years now. I love your posts. I'm very glad to be out of it. Else 35 years was enough. That's a long time. But you made it through that first hazing year, which wasn't so bad then. Now, horrible. What kind of aliens? Right, we didn't specify that. After they decided to list us as a good high-paying carrier, we decided to begin sponsoring the channel, but that's separate from the third highest-paying carrier thing, GP Transco. Right. I did read that, too. That was all over the news, certainly. And didn't you get a huge spike in calls once that came? Because that came out like in a lot of trucking news places picked that up. And then weren't you like bombarded with calls because people are like, why am I making 43 cents a mile, when I can go over here? So, yeah. Aviator Trucker, for reasons unknown, Western Stars to me look just like a barrel. It looks like something you could actually go over Niagara Falls in. Well, and you'd probably survive because of how well they're made. And by the way, these 4900s are made in Oregon, so they're not even made in Canada anymore. So I love that too. They're made here in the United States. Heated lights, finally. Now, why isn't that in all trucks? Roger Penske, Dazzle's Doghouse is a guy from Chicago out here in Phoenix. His brother has a place in Wilcup, Arizona, and US 90 tree. That tree on the way up to Vegas. Cool. Heavy Metal Trucker, ATS has lytics and a point system that micromanage you. See, the camera, which are very pervasive in the industry now, you'll have to see how they treat you with the camera, with the points and all that. There's lytics and Samsara are the big ones. There's a couple other smaller ones, Ram McNally. There's a few small ones. How do they treat you about the camera? That's the thing. How often it goes off and how you're treated. I'd quit a place before I got fired over the camera. I would say that. They started having a camera and then started griping at you and you were getting enough points to get fired. I might quit first so I didn't get a safety violation. But you'll just have to see how they treat you with it. I mean, people still do work there, so. Vaccine/cartel timeshare, I'm not buying in. Don't buy into it. Austin, you'll ask your doctor if it's right for you. International school buses had an option for heated wiper blades on the conventional chassis. Cars have them. Why aren't they in trucks? Why does there have to be an aftermarket for this? They should just be standard in a truck. Shake a palm tree in Phoenix and somebody from Chicago will fall out with a piece of pizza in their hand, probably. Exactly. We all want to move there, too. I wouldn't mind moving down there. Why don't you just hand me your paycheck? I mean, home title theft is skyrocketing. Check your finances. I know, I hear these commercials. Home title theft. Who is it that... O'Reilly. Doesn't he do those commercials? Home title theft is on the rise. Really? Is it really? My 2021 Peterbilt and the tank trailer have 5 axles of disc brakes. Hayden and they are not as efficient as a drum. Take longer to stop, but they don't fade if you're going down a hill. You know, I've seen signs on the back of trailers that say, back off, this truck has disc brakes, basically saying you're going to crash into it if it slows down. And in tests that I've seen, the truck stops way sooner, so I don't know why it wouldn't stop as soon. Can't wait till the DCs make all drivers show a card for getting the vaccine. I think there'll be an app, and I do think that is a possibility. They're a private business, they did comment on this, could say you can't come in here without the vaccine or proof of the vaccine. Yes. School buses in Colorado have auto chains. Exactly. Why don't trucks have auto chains on them? I think they don't want to carry the weight around the whole year and then or take them on and off every year. Because otherwise you're dragging that weight around that you may or may not need. But I guess they got to have chains on them anyway in the wintertime. Are you still moving, Mark? Yes. Yes, we will. As soon as I get a satisfactory place, yeah, head it out. But no seatbelts, right? Steelmore's right. They have auto chains, heated wipers, and no seatbelts. So I guess they figure the other stuff will keep the kids safe enough so that in case there's a crash, there won't be a crash because they can at least see and get traction. But right, no seatbelts. And they talked about it here again in Indiana, and no seatbelts again, of course. What's the New Year resolution? I don't like to do resolutions. I think moving forward every day is a good way to live your life. Fleet Nav Systems. Oh, no, miss us. Have a great weekend, Mark. Well, it's good to see you, Fleet Nav Systems. Anyway, 5 axles of disc and it stops faster. It should stop faster. I sent my home title to a Nigerian prince. He's helping me refinance at a great rate. Cash is getting drained. He had a great rate on it. Christina, you can buy my home. You're a little too far away from where we want to be. Alexander, Mark, I'm going to send you a video of Sydney Funnelwim. I'd love to see it, actually. I can't, I thought his name was Sydney. So maybe you could name it Sydney. Someone at GP Transco installed heated wipers a few weeks ago. I'd be curious if they worked out. Oh, that'd be great, I wish I could do it here. I don't know why they're being such idiots about it. Can you imagine if everyone shut down for a 34-hour reset throughout the United States? Imagine how people will feel. They would feel, but you wouldn't get any change because different things need to change through the whole industry. Have you lost weight? I haven't weighed in yet, but I'm in another notch on my belt. So I don't like to weigh every day because you get all nervous about it. But plus you get bloated every month, But yeah, I've moved a notch in on my belt, so that's a good sign. A CCJ nationwide driver survey showed 2 years ago that most drivers are being treated with respect is more important. Yeah, I know. I think so too. The treatment is way better than pay. I don't make that much money, believe me, where I am. But I like that they don't bother me about stuff. And that's way more important to me than anything. The Korean Mafia headquarters local jobs, $21 an hour. Move on down. Nice, I guess. I miss tacos without the are we taking over hard sell. Oh, nice. Hard sell. What does Gracie think about that? She's not impressed. She is not impressed with it at all. Believe me. Then I always lose my spot there. But at this time, I do have to head out and head to work, of course. So Misty was first today. I do want to say that. Thank you for that. And let's see, GP Transco was here today. If you want to get a job where you're treated well and make money, how about that? The double combo, GP Transco right there. Give them a call. They are always looking for good drivers that want to be treated well. And then respect, give them respect and you get it back. That's how it works. Fleet Nav Systems was here today. Shortly, but they are always a friend here. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Did you know Schuster just gave people a raise too? People were talking about that. Yeah, they just gave a raise. How about that? And you know what people have to do all the time? They have to eat all the time. That's right. Dot Foods, Dot Transportation. Go there. People always have to eat no matter what happens. People will always eat. Always. So that's what I'm doing with that. But that is the story here. Misty was first today. Thanks, Snyder. I appreciate you being here today. Al Johns was here. Thank you. Aviator Trucker came in today. ELD Trucker. Wild Bill was here today. Roger Penske, thank you for that. I hope the surgery goes good there. Alexander, waiting for the video. Thank you for being here today. I hope they finally get you out of that place. Cash is King Trucking was here. I'll send you an email shortly. Trucker Hershey, thank you for being here today. Roy Rodriguez, it's good to see you. Chef Matt, as always, cooking up the comments. Norman Bates, there's vacancies available if you need a place to stay. Hansalee, thank you for being here today. Let's see here. Oh, Dope Law was here. Rick N., I appreciate you coming in. Texas Trader, there were a lot of people here today. George Wilson, thank you for being here. Philip Trucker, the last live show of the year, probably. Rick N. was here today, and I don't know what's happening on the 1st yet, so New Year's. Squirrel was here today. Let's see about that. Texas Trader, thank you for being in here today. Christina was here today. It's good to see you. If your house was a little closer, we could talk. But Austin was here today. Mario Pineda. Mario Pineda. There we go. I think I got it. I'm not trying to do anything with the names, believe me. George Wilson, it's good to see you today. And I have to get out, or my company, of course, will gripe at me, as they always do, for, oh, where were you today? So there's that. Anyway, thank you for coming in today for the year. Another year coming up, of course, and more videos. There should be a video every day through the rest of the year. How about that? So we can promise that, because I have some from last week. It was just a long week again. So, but a video every day through the rest of the year. That is the promise, and I hope to keep it. So thanks for being here, and we will see you on the next show.